What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto joins fairy tale konoha bashing? If you enjoy then please like, share, and do comments. Prologue. In a country known as Land of Fire laid a village, not just any village but a village full of ninjas or shinobis. This village was known as the village hidden in the leaves, or konoha for short. This village was considered the most powerful in the elemental nations for their unbreakable bonds and their strict teachings in teamwork. But our story doesn't start there. No, our story begins with a family. Within this family was four members, the parents and the children, one boy and the other girl. But this wasn't what the story is about. Oh no, it was the members. The father was none other than the leader of the village, also known as the Hokage, and his name was Minato Namikaze. He was the current Hokage, or the fourth Hokage, and had earned the nickname the Yellow Flash for his speed. The mother was a beautiful woman by anyone's right. She was Kushina Namikaze, and was once known as a fearful Kunoichi because of her very short temper. She was so feared that they had given her a nickname, the Red Devil of the Leaf, because of the way her hair got when angry. The other two were two young 7-year-old children. One was a young girl with red hair like her mother, but with hazel eyes. The boy was a carbon copy of his father, except that he had 3 whisker-like marks on both sides of his face. Right now we find the boy in his room looking outside his window at his parents training his sister before he would try to learn, but his parents would just brush him off. Why, you may ask. Well, 7 years ago when his sister and him were born, a man attacked the place where their mother was giving birth outside the village. The masked man attacked and was able to rip the 9 tails out of their mother and set out to destroy the village, but Minato was able to take the 9 tails to a secluded area, and with the help of Kushina was able to not only beat the man but was able to seal his charka for a set amount of time. After driving the man away, they restrained the 9 tails and sealed half of it into their daughter Naruto and the other half back into Kushina to allow her to survive. The girl was then presented to the village by her parents, and they told the village that their daughter would be the protector of their village, making the villagers worship her like a hero. Though the boy was then outcast and shunned for his sister, everyone didn't even know that the Hokage had a son. The boy grew up as a mere shadow of his sister. He was always forgotten in everything: family vacations, parties, dinners, and even on his birthday. His parent merely thought of him as a pest, and by now the boy was getting sick of it, and he decided to try once more before giving up. The boy then ran to the family library and started to look for something that would surely impress them and get them to finally acknowledge him. Tree climbing and water walking. I'm sure Naruto doesn't know this, yet I'll learn this all today and show them, then they'll be so proud of me, they'll surely start teaching me with Naruto. Naruto said out loud and soon took the scrolls and headed to a training ground near there to start training. When he got there, he saw a small lake and many trees with a clearing. Soon he got to a shadowy tree and started to read. After about 30 minutes of reading the scrolls, Naruto got up and headed to a tree to start on tree climbing first. As Naruto started to go up, he slips and smashes his face into the tree. Ow, that hurt, man. I guess that mean I didn't use enough chakra. Well, no use crying over it, Naruto said while getting up and trying again and again, until finally, after nearly 3 hours of trying, he was able to do it right. All right, I did it, Naruto said to himself and celebrated by running up and down the trees as well as upside down. Well, I better move on to water walking to show them all I learned today, Naruto said after he finally calmed down a bit and had a small rest. Soon Naruto started trying to learn water walking and found it to be on the same principles as the tree climbing exercise. But because he mastered the tree climbing technique, he was able to get this down in only 1 hour. Man, am I tired, but I did it. Man, won't they be proud when they see my moves, Naruto said with a small smile while drinking some water. After resting, he decided to run home to show them what he learned. Naruto never noticed a beautiful white-haired woman looking at him with a motherly smile and face that radiated love. Oh Naruto, I'm so happy that even in a world like this that you're able to smile like nothing wrong, but you won't have to worry for much longer, honey, because you'll soon become my new son, and I promise to never let you be sad again, the woman said before turning into shadows and disappearing. With Naruto ran home and went straight to the backyard to search for his parents and sister. He found them sitting down and resting while eating ramen, so he approached them calmly so as to not surprise them. Mom, Dad, can I show you two something? Naruto asked while looking at them with hope in his eyes. Minato and Kushina merely rolled their eyes and nodded for him to go ahead. What he showed them both shocked and angered them. Naruto, though, was surprised her that her brother knew things she still didn't know, as her parents hadn't taught her those things because she wasn't ready yet. So what do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? Naruto told them while dropping down from the tree he was standing upside down on. Before Naruto could go on to show them his water walking exercise, his father came up to him and smacked him across the face. "What the hell were you thinking, Naruto? Who thought you this anyways?" Minato screamed at him, making Naruto have tears in his eyes, and then stuttered out an answer. "I took a scroll from the library to learn it," Naruto said, now crying. "Who gave you permission to enter the library anyways, Naruto? You're in a lot of trouble, young man. Now go to your room and stay there. You are not getting any dinner tonight, understood?" Kushina said while giving Naruto a slap across his face. Naruto merely got up and screamed. "I hate you all, I wish I was never born," Naruto screamed, making both of them get shocked and hurt faces for what Naruto just said. Naruto ran away toward his room. Naruto wanted to talk to her brother but couldn't find the words to say, so she merely stayed quiet. Later that night, Naruto was currently lying on her bed, looking at the ceiling and thinking of a way to make it up to her brother. She had been thinking about that for the past 3 hours now and still hadn't come up with anything. And what if I get Mom to make him a special dinner? No, that won't work. Oh, I know, I'll teach him some of the things Mom and Dad taught me. Yay, that'll cheer him right up. I better go and tell him right now, Naruto thought while getting out of bed and headed to her twin brother's room, which was to her surprise at the far end of the house. Once she got there, Naruto knocked on the door only to be met with silence. "I have never been in brother's room before. I wonder what kind of stuff he has in there. Why isn't he answering? Could he be asleep? No, I think he's just mad and is giving us the silent treatment." Naruto thought and knocked again, but when she didn't receive an answer this time, she just went and opened the door. Inside, the room was empty, and that shocked her because in her room she had way too much things, from posters to stuffed animals. Her brother had nothing but a bed and a small dresser and a lamp. She couldn't believe her eyes and started to look around, hoping to find something to tell her where her brother went. That's when she found a note pinned to the wall on top of the headboard of the bed. She reached out and started to read it, and as soon as she finished, she screamed. Kushina and Minato's room. Kushina and Minato were currently getting ready for bed. Kushina was sitting in bed reading a book, while Minato was taking a shower. "Hey Minato, do you think we were a bit harsh on Naruto today?" Kushina asked while putting away her book and looking at her husband, who had just come out of the bathroom. "I don't know, Kushina, maybe. It's just that it was a shock to learn that Naruto went and did something like tap into his chakra without telling us. I mean, he could have gotten hurt," Minato said while getting into bed and staring at the ceiling. "I know, but maybe we should teach him to. I mean, he does need this after all to protect himself," Kushina said while looking at her husband. "Yay, okay, we'll start tomorrow and maybe he'll forgive us too," Minato said with hope in his voice. "Oh, I bet he will if you teach him your Rasengan," Kushina said, making him smile. "You're right, well, Minato couldn't finish his sentence because at that moment they heard Naruto scream and they instantly bolted to her room. When they got there, they found it empty and decided to head to Naruto in case something happened to him too. When they arrived, they entered to find Naruto on the floor crying and repeating the words, "I'm sorry," over and over again. Kushina ran toward Naruto and held her close to her and whispered sweet nothings to help calm her down. Minato, in the meantime, decided to look around for the cause of Naruto's situation. He found a note on the floor and decided to read it out loud. "If you're reading this, then I'm already gone. I have decided to leave, and I will never return. You have shown me that I'm not wanted here, and as such I'm leaving to places unknown, and let you three be the family you always wanted to be without the burden of a pest like me around. I have severed all ties I have with this family, so if we ever do meet again, never speak to me like your son. You two lost that right a long time ago. Enjoy your life with your only child. Signed, the Forgotten." As soon as he finished reading, Minato bolted out of the room and house and headed to his office to start a search party in the hopes of finding Naruto. But by the time Minato and anyone else started to search, Naruto would be long gone. 2 hours earlier, Naruto sat in his room thinking about everything that happened and wondered what he did wrong. After about 30 minutes of thinking and getting nothing, Naruto decided he had enough and started to pack. After he finished, he went to the family library and ransacked the place, taking everything to train himself and prove to them he could get strong without them. He then sat down and wrote a letter to them and left the compound, and as he made his way down an empty street, H saw a woman in the middle of it, almost waiting for him. "Hello, Naruto," the woman told him, making him a little scared since this woman knew his name. "Why, yes, how may I help you, lady?" Naruto asked while looking at her nervously. "Do not be scared, my child. I have come to take you away from this place and give you everything you ever wanted, a family," the lady told him, making Naruto widen his eyes at her. "Really, you can do that?" Naruto asked. Yes, dear, I can, so what do you say? Will you let me be your new mother and give you the love you deserve? The woman asked. Naruto immediately jumped up and hugged her, surprising her. Yes, please take me away, as far away as possible, Naruto said while crying in her shoulder, making her soften her eyes and hug him back. Don't worry, I will now. Come on, we better go. I wish to tell you something, but not here, the woman said, and then snapped her fingers, and both were now in front of a very beautiful house. Where are we, Mom? Naruto said, though with a bit of hesitation, though the woman merely smiled. My home, Naruto. Now though I wish for you to meet my good friend, he will be you uncle of sort, okay? The woman said, making Naruto nod his head. Okay, then let go meet him, he's been waiting quite patiently for us, the lady said, and soon both started to walk down a path until they got to a cave and went in. That's when Naruto saw that the entire cave was made out of solid gold. The more they went deeper, the more Naruto could hear snoring. Well, we're here, wait here, Naruto, while I go talk to him, the woman said, gaining a nod from him. Naruto then heard the snoring stop, and soon he started to get bored, and how couldn't he? He sat there for almost 3 hours. Naruto, please come in now, Naruto heard, and then he stood up and head inside. What he saw inside amazed him, for in there he saw a huge dragon sitting up and looking at him. Hello there, my boy, please introduce yourself, the dragon said while looking at Naruto. My name is Naruto, sir, Naruto said, making sure to not use his family name anymore. Well, Naruto, my name is Ragnarok, young one, the now introduced Ragnarok said. Yes, and Naruto, I forgot to tell you my name. Well, I have many names, but you can call me Lily, Naruto, the now known Lily said. Well, see, can you tell me why you brought me here? Naruto said while looking at both Lily and Ragnarok in the eyes. Well, we wish to take you away from that life, Naruto, and give you a better, so I brought you here, and Ragnarok and me have decided to make you our student as well. So what do you say, Naruto, do you wish to learn from us? Lily said while looking at him. What will I learn if I say yes, Mom? Naruto asked, wondering what they could possibly teach him. Well, young one, I could teach you the true dragon slayer arts, a type of magic that was made for the sole purpose to kill dragons, Ragnarok said while looking at him in the eyes. And I can teach you the true god slayer arts, Naruto, because the place I'm gonna take you is a world of magic, a place where dragon and god used to rule till the world found out about the slayer arts, Lily said. Wait, you mean to say that magic is real? Naruto questioned her. Yes, and the place I'm talking about is called Earthland, where instead of ninjas they have mages, and instead of cage they have guild masters, and instead of ninja villages they have mage guilds, Ragnarok said to him, making Naruto smile at that. But we will not take you there yet, Naruto dear. First we will train you here in this pocket dimension until you have completely mastered everything we teach you. By the end of your training, you will be powerful enough to kill any dragon and god that comes your way, Naruto, Ragnarok said with complete faith in him. So Naruto are ready to be trained like never before, because once we start, there's no going back, Lily said, making sure Naruto understood what was gonna happen. Yes, I'm ready, mother. I want to be the most powerful mage and ninja possible to show everyone who shunned me that I don't need their help to become strong, Naruto said with a burning passion in his eyes to prove the world that he could be powerful without them. I like your style, kid. Very well, let's begin your training right. Before Ragnarok finished, he extended his wings and flew at Naruto at blinding speed. Now Ragnarok finished with a mighty roar. 6 years later. It had been 6 years since his training began, and according to his parent figures, while they were in the pocket dimension, 1 year in there was 1 month outside. So he grew up normally, but luckily he didn't sleep, eat, or anything while in there, so his training had come along nicely. He had mastered his dragon slayer arts and god slayer arts in record time, and had gotten a surprise when he did master them. Why, well, because his mother had revealed to him to be a goddess, not just any goddess, of the first goddess to come to life. That is, while he was able to learn all elemental slayer art for his god slayer arts, his mother told him that since gods have to element to begin with, they could teach anyone to wield all the elements should they please. That is why his mother got angry when he asked about the other god slayers in Earthland, calling them pretenders. His mother called them fakers and many other things, and when he asked why she called them that, she said, they were never trained by gods, Naruto. All they did was fuse darkness magic with element magic to make that abomination they call god slayer magic. Their element come out black when you're come out to be a gold color, so you see they are fakers, Naruto. So if you see any pretenders out there, I want you to teach them what a true god slayer can do, okay, honey? Lily had told him, and Naruto had merely nodded, promising to teach all the fake god slayers a lesson. Ragnarok, on the other hand, had said he was a rare type of dragon known as the Scale-less dragon. Why, well, because apparently his didn't have any element, but he could instead use all the element like Lily, which had earned him the title of the dragon god, even though he wasn't a god by any mean. Now, though, we find a 13-year-old Naruto walking along a mountain terrain with his mother on his right and a floating golden sphere of light to his left. So, Dad, where is this, what did you call it? Oh, right, colony of dragons that you mentioned earlier, Naruto asked while looking at the small light on his left. Patient, my boy, it's just over this ridge, so we'll be there in maybe 10 minutes. Ragnarok spoke. And true to his word, 10 minutes later, they were over the ridge looking at the valley down below and were watching as maybe 5 dragons were either flying around or just sleeping. This is a colony, Dad, I was expecting. Well, I don't know, dozens of dragons, not 5. Naruto said while looking at the dragon going about their business. Yes, well, this 5 are some of the last living dragon around, so I guess they thought being together might up their chances of living. Ragnarok said. Well, go on, dear, and remember, don't use anything other than your dragon slayer magic, okay? Lily said, making Naruto nod. Don't worry, Mom, I'll make both of you proud, Naruto said before jumping down to the valley, missing the smile on his mother's face. You already made me proud since the day I met you, Naruto, Lily said before going on to look at Ragnarok. Do you think he'll be all right? Lily asked him. HMPH, he'll be just fine. In fact, I bet he'll finish this in exactly 10 minutes. Ragnarok said. I see, well then let's hope that we trained him well, Lily said. And with that they backed to find Naruto walking up to the dragons that were looking at him with surprise, wonder, and hunger. With Naruto. As Naruto was walking toward them, the dragons just looked at him, and when Naruto was in front of all 5 of the dragons, one came up and asked him a question. What are you doing here, human? Leave before I devour you. A big blue dragon said, and all Naruto did was get in a fighting stance and yelled out him attack, which surprised the dragons. Lighting dragon roar. Naruto screamed and he shot out a huge lighting tornado that went straight to the dragon and ripped through him like a hot knife through butter. Before the eyes of the dragons, the blue one fell to the ground dead with a gaping hole in his chest where his heart should be. The other were too shocked to notice Naruto move, and when they did notice, it was already over. Ice Dragon Piercing Fang. After nearly 10 minutes, all the dragon were laying on the ground dead, with Naruto sitting on top of a dragon's corpse like it was nothing. Well done, my boy, that was absolutely amazing. You are now a true dragon slayer, and now that you have bathed in the blood of a dragon, you have activated your drive. Ragnarok said to him. Yes, and once we implant the dragon lacrima into you, you will be a 3rd-generation dragon slayer and will be able to go in and out of your dragon force at will, and you won't have to worry about turning into a dragon anymore. Lily said with a smile on her face. Now there's just one thing to do, my boy. Ragnarok said to him, making Naruto look at them and wait for what he need to do. And what might that be, Dad? Naruto questioned him with a tilt of his head. Live Naruto, go on, see the world, travel and meet new people, join a guild, make friends, find a nice mate. We have finished your training, and as much as it hurts us to let you go, we have no other choice. Naruto, you are 13 years old, and you don't even know the world outside the pocket dimension. So please, Naruto, go out and find yourself a grand adventure to do and pick up some friend along that adventure, okay, honey? Lily said with tears in her eyes while hugging Naruto to her chest, and all Naruto could do was hug her back while he too started to cry. Don't worry, Mom, Dad, I will make both of you proud, and I'll have the best adventure anyone can have. My name will be known far and wide, and when anyone asks who taught you everything you know, I'll look up at the sky and say my mother and father. So please don't cry, Mom, this isn't goodbye, it's just to see you later. Naruto said with a smile. Okay, I won't cry anymore, honey, Lily said with a smile. Soon they started to walk down a road for an hour or so till they got to a crossroad with a post with 2 signs on it. One was pointing left and said the name to a town, while the other pointed to the right and also had the name of a town. Well, I guess this is where we part way, Mom and Dad. I hope to see you two again someday, but until then, see you later, you two. Naruto said while heading down the left path with a small duffel bag on his left shoulder and with his right hand waving goodbye to them both. Bye, Naruto, and don't worry because I have a feeling that we will see each other again real soon, Lily said before Ragnarok and her vanished like they were never there in the first place, with Naruto. It had been nearly 3 hours since he parted ways with his parents, and he was really enjoying the silence of the day. That is until he saw a girl walking along the same road. Hey there, you lost? Naruto asked and saw the girl turn toward him. No, actually, I'm heading back to my guild. It's called Fairy Tail. Have you heard of it? Erza said. No, actually, I've been living with my parent and never had the chance to travel till now. That is, they finally gave me permission to travel the world and to go on many adventures. Naruto said. I see. Well, would you like to join us? The master is very welcoming, and everyone there treats everyone like family. Erza said. Sure, I would love to join this guild. It sounds like a cool place. Naruto said while holding out his hands. Soon both were shaking hand and started they walking again towards the guild known as Fairy Tail. This would be the start of a new adventure for Naruto and everyone in Fairy Tail. The question that remained though was, would it be a good one or a bad one? With Naruto and Erza. It has been over an hour since Naruto found Erza and the two of them started to head toward Magnolia Town. Hey Erza, how far away are we from Magnolia Town? Naruto asked while walking next to her right. Well, we are still about a days away from there. Erza responded to his question while drinking some water she had on hand. Really? Well, what are we supposed to do when night falls? I mean, look, the sun is going down, so we have about another hour at most of light. Naruto said while pointing at the setting sun, which made the sky look like it was on fire. Well, we could camp out here for the night since there is no town or rest stops until we get to Magnolia Town. Erza said, making Naruto nod. Well, come on, we should find a clearing or something to set up a camp. Naruto said, making Erza nod. Soon they were walking a little away from the road so as not to lose their way. After about 15 minutes of looking, they were able to find a nice little clearing to set up camp. Well, this is a nice enough spot, so how about we set up here since we only have minutes before nightfall? Naruto said, and with that both start working of their sleeping bags. Erza, do you mind making a fire while I go look for some food? Naruto said while making a little ditch for the fire. Sure, go ahead, Erza said. After about 30 minutes, Naruto returned with about 3 rabbits and 2 wild chickens. Erza was surprised to find that Naruto was such a good hunter, and she was even more surprised to see him cook so expertly. Wow, Naruto, I didn't know you could cook so well, Erza said, making Naruto sweat drop. Well, we have only known each other for about 2 hours, so I guess that's why. Naruto said, making Erza blush in embarrassment about forgetting. Well, you're just great company that I felt like I've known you for a while, Erza said while looking away trying to hide her blush. Why am I blushing? I can't possibly like him after just 2 hours of knowing him, right? That's just not possible. But he is cute with those whisker marks and those beautiful ocean blue eyes. Oh my god, I do like him. But maybe he could help me forget about the tower. Erza thought while looking at Naruto eat his chicken leg. So, Erza, what's Fairy Tail like? Naruto said, gaining the redhead's attention. Well, Fairy Tail is it's like one big family. Everyone there would do anything to protect their own no matter what. The master is like very own grandfather or father. He would risk his own life if I meant saving one of his children. He is a great man, but an even greater grandfather, Erza said while looking at the fire with a big smile on her face. Sounds like a great place. I think I'm gonna like it there, more so now that I made a friend in you, Naruto said while smiling at her, making her blush, but good thing her hair was shielding her face along with the fire illuminating her face, making it hard to notice. So why don't we try to get some sleep? Erza said, berating herself for stuttering in the beginning. Naruto merely smiled and nodded at her, finding it cute when she tried to hide her blush from him. What was it that my mother said? Oh yeah, if a girl blushes when she is around you, it means she likes you. So Erza likes me, huh? It's a little weird since we just met, but she's cute with that scarlet hair of hers, Naruto thought while looking at Erza get up and head toward her sleeping bag. Naruto, aren't you coming? You need your rest for the travel tomorrow, Erza said to him, but before he could answer, he felt a pair of very recognizable eyes on him. You go ahead and sleep, Erza. I'll go for a walk to clear some stuff from my head. You know, I just got permission to travel and all, and in the end I made a new friend and I'm gonna join a guild all in my first day of travel. I need some time to process it all, Naruto said, making Erza nod at him even though she knew he was keeping something. Sure, okay, but don't be too long, okay? We do need our rest, Erza told him with a pointed look, making him laugh sheepishly and rub the back of his head while nodding okay. It took nearly 2 hours before Naruto found it safe to get up and walk about 30 minutes from the campsite. Mom, Dad, you can come out now, Naruto said to nothing. It took about a minute before a small ball of light appeared along with a very beautiful woman that seemed to materialize from thin air. Naruto, honey, how have you been? Lily asked him with a concerned look on her face. Well, considering that I was only gone for about half a day, I'd have to say great, Naruto said, making both smile at his words. But anyways, why are you guys here? Naruto asked them. All he got was his mother's embarrassed blushing face and some nervous laughter from the little ball of light. Well, you see, we kind of forgot to implant the dragon lacrima in you before you left, so we're here to well fix that, Ragnarok said, making Naruto chuckle at his parents' misfortune. Oh well, okay then, how long will it take for the implanting and my recovery? Naruto asked them, wanting to know how long would he be out of commission if he encountered trouble on his way toward Magnolia. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. With your Sky God Slayer magic, you can heal any outer wound in a second, and besides, it won't take more than a few seconds, since I'll just shove the lacrima in you, and then you'll be able to get up like nothing's happened. Lily said, making Naruto look at her with an incredulous look. You never said anything about shoving a lacrima in me. Naruto said, making both parents laugh. We forgot, they both said at the same time. Naruto merely let out a sigh and went to the nearest tree and smacked his face against it while chanting "stupid forgetful parents" over and over again. This made both of them sweat drop at the sight of their child saying and doing those stuff. Well, we should get started now, son, so you can go back to that cute red head. Ragnarok said, making Naruto blush and send him a glare. Oh yes, that girl will make a fine wife for you one day, but considering that you're my son means that you can have more than one wife, and also since you're Ragnarok's child means the same thing, so you can have a total of 6 wives, 3 from me and 3 from your father. So go on and get 6 wives and give me a ton of grandbabies as soon as possible. Lily said with a glint in her eyes at the thought of all those grandchildren. Both father and son merely looked at her with an eyebrow raised, well in the case for Naruto that is, and thought if she had gone mad. Well anyways, on to what we came here for, Lily. Ragnarok said, knocking Lily from her fantasy world. Right, sorry about that. Well, hold still, Naruto. Oh, and this might hurt a little. Lily said just before shoving her hand in the center of his chest, making Naruto flinch, surprising him that it did not hurt as bad as her thought it would. They're all done, and if you're wondering why it didn't hurt more, it's because as both a dragon and God Slayer, you have a very high tolerance for pain. And also, it doesn't hurt that you have a near regenerative healing ability thanks to your truly. Lily said with a smile while looking at him and kissing his forehead. Now go back to that cute little girl and start making me many grandbabies to spoil. Lily said, making Naruto blush so much he looked like a tomato. Mom, stop please. Naruto screamed, making Lily giggle at his reaction. Okay then, well, go on, we do not want to take up your time, after all you do need to sleep. Ragnarok said, making Lily pout at him for taking her fun away. Fine then, have a good night, and do not worry, we will see you again when it is time to go back to the elemental nations and show them how powerful you got on your own. Lily said with a huge smile on her face. Naruto, on the other hand, got a serious look on and nodded because he couldn't wait to humiliate his family and to show them that he had gotten stronger than any of them could image. Yay, I can't wait for that day, Naruto said while smiling at both his parents. After they said their goodbye, Naruto went back and found Erza sleeping so cutely he couldn't help but stare at her. I mean, why wouldn't he? Erza was sucking her thumb and was making mewling noises. After looking at her for a good 2 minutes, Naruto headed toward his sleeping bag and was soon fast asleep. Next morning. Light, that was the first thing he noticed when he opened his eyes. Well, the second, since the first thing he noticed was Erza in his vision, just looking at him with a small smile and a tiny blush. As soon as their eyes locked, Erza jumped back and started to look around so as to find something to hide her blush in. GGGG, good morning, NNN Naruto. Erza stuttered at being caught mere inches from his face. Why am I stuttering, for God's sake? I'm Erza Scarlet, not some blushing schoolgirl, but he's so cute, especially when he sleeps. No, stop it, I need to keep my emotions in check, oh God. Erza thought before trailing off, seeing Naruto remove his shirt so as to change, seeing as his current shirt was dirty. What or why you doing, Naruto? Erza said, blushing while looking at his body, which was well developed for a 13-year-old boy. Oh, well, this shirt is dirty, so I'm gonna change to a clean one. Why am I bothering you? Naruto said teasingly while going up to her face and get inches from her face. Would of course not, hurry and get changed, I wish to get to the guild as soon as pos. Before Erza could finish, Naruto grabbed her and carried her bridal style, making her squeal in surprise. Then hang on, because I'm gonna get us there in a flash, Naruto said, making Erza nod and put her arms around his neck while having a small blush, and soon they were gone in a stream of lighting. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail, the guild that was just recently being recognized as one of the strongest guild in the Kingdom of Fior. Currently in the guild hall, 2 little 11-year-olds were fighting again. It was totally your fault, you eye stripper. A pink-haired boy yelled out to a black-haired boy clad in only his boxers. No way, it's your fault, you stupid matchstick. The black-haired boy said. People were just watching them with smiles and laughing at the two all, except for a blonde-haired teen that was just leaning against wooden pillar. Those two are lame, fighting over something so stupid like spilled water, the teen said while looking at the two fight a little longer, but before he could leave, the teen's eyes widened when a yellow stream of lighting appeared in the center of the guild, making everyone stop what they were doing and get in defensive positions. But when the lighting cleared, what they saw surprised them, because there in the center of the guild was a young boy of no older than 13 with blonde, unkempt hair, not wearing a shirt, with only black baggy pants with a white sash around his waist. But the most surprising thing was that he was carrying Erza's Scarlet bridal style, and she was letting him touch her in such a way that would have gotten other men killed. Soon the boy put Erza down and started to look around the guild hall like he had never seen a place like it before. Man, this place is awesome, Erza. Now I know why you love it so much. I can't wait to join this guild. That is what everyone heard him say, and they were glad that he was going to join them, because man, could they feel his power just rolling off him like a waterfall. Yes, well, come on, the master is over here. He will get you all set up here at the guild. Erza told him, making him nod and follow her to the bar, where a small old man was sitting on the counter while drinking a mug of beer. Master, I have returned from a successful job and with a person who wishes to join Fairy Tail. Erza told the old man, making him look at her and nod, then look at Naruto and ask him a question. Well, where would you like your guild stamp, and in what color, my boy? The old man asked him. What, that's it? You're not even gonna see if I'm a threat to the guild? Naruto asked, surprised at the man's behavior. Not at all, my boy. I sense no ill feeling toward the guild or to anyone, so I have no reason to be suspicious of you, the old man said while taking a swing of his beer. Thanks, old man, for the trust. I will do all I can to make sure you don't regret it. But anyways, I would like my stamp over my heart and in black with a white outer lining. Naruto said, taking off his shirt, making all the women blush at seeing his well-developed abs, though the boys and men were all glaring at him, so having such a body at such a young age. Very well, my boy, they're all done well now. Introduction are in order, so I'll go first. My name is Makarov Dreyer, the third master of Fairy Tail. Makarov, said Naruto, then smiled and pointed at himself. Well, I'm Naruto Ragnar, son of Ragnarok, the scale-less dragon, and Lily, the primordial goddess. Naruto said, making everyone go wide eyes at that, even Erza, since she didn't know anything about Naruto's magic. My boy, are you a D-Dragon Slayer? Makarov said, still in shock at hearing him say who his parents are. Yea, I'm a god slayer and a dragon slayer, which I think makes me a dragon god slayer, doesn't it, master? Naruto asked him while in a thinking pose, making some of the guild member faint from hearing a new slayer join their guild. Why, yea, I believe so, my boy, Makarov said after calming down. So what do I do know? Before Naruto could finish, all the guild heard a voice. Hey, you, fight me. When Naruto heard this, he turned around and found a little pink-haired 11-year-old coming at him with a flaming fist. Fire Dragon Iron Fist, the little pink-haired boy yelled out. Lighting Dragon Breakdown Fist. Naruto screamed out, making a big magic seal appear in front of him, and a huge fist come rushing towards the boy. Oh, that's a pretty big fist. Two men said while looking at the fist Naruto made. Naruto just stood there waiting for the two attacks to collide, and after a few seconds the attacks collided and an explosion happened. When the smoke cleared, the little boy was on the floor, out cold it seemed. Who is that, master? Naruto asked the master, but when he turns toward the master, he saw the master along with Erza and a white-haired gothic-looking girl, and all three of them had wide eyes, especially a teen about 17 years old off to the side who was leaning on a pillar. That was Natsu. He is a dragon slayer like you, the fire dragon slayer, Makarov said while looking at Naruto. How powerful are you, my boy? Even if Natsu is young, he is a dragon slayer, and they do have an immense durability to withstand almost a lot of damage, even if Laxus was to do that to Natsu. How strong are you, Naruto? Makarov thought while looking at Naruto with curiosity in his eyes. And Naruto, why didn't you tell me you could use lighting magic? Erza asked, well, more like demanded, while getting up all in his face. Well, you never asked about my type of magic. Naruto said while sweat dropping at her reaction. We don't even know each other that good to start dating. What is your name? Naruto told her, making the girl give him a pout, but she never let go and instead answered her like that. Well then, my name is Mirajane Strauss, the one who will rock your world. Mirajane said while kissing him in the right cheek, making Naruto's face burn up at the implications of that sentence. Back of Mirajane, he isn't interested in you, Erza yelled while punching her away. Just before Erza could say anything to Naruto, Mirajane came back and uppercut Erza. Don't interfere, you armor-wearing hussy, Mirajane yelled back. Soon, though, everyone was looking at the sense of Erza and Mirajane fighting over a boy, something they thought they would never see happen. Though if anyone looked at the blonde-haired teen, they would see him pissed off at Naruto for some reason. Soon the blonde couldn't take it anymore and got off the wall and walked towards Naruto with lighting flowing through his body. Hey you, new guy, what the hell do you think you doing? Everyone turned and saw the teen walk towards Naruto, pissed. Oh wait, what was the question again? Naruto asked while looking at the teen while scratching the back of his head. Don't play stupid with me, you little brat. What do you think you're doing here in this guild? This guild isn't for the weak, so why is a weakling like you even doing in guild like Fairy Tail? The teen asked, making Naruto raise an eyebrow at him. Laxus, that's enough out of you, Makarov said while looking at the teen. No, I'm sick and tired of you allowing such weakling to join the guild. I'll teach him what it takes to be a fairy tale wizard, Laxus said while disappearing in a stream of lighting straight at Naruto. Naruto didn't even have time to do anything because of the speed Laxus traveled, and soon the stream of lighting went outside, making everyone ran outside the guild. Laxus took Naruto behind the guild and stood across from him. Naruto merely stood up and dusted himself out and looked at Laxus with little to no emotion. Now you'll see what a real wizard can do, Laxus said while covering his entire body in yellow lighting. Sigh, I don't want to fight a fellow fairy tale guild mate, but if you attack first I will have to option than to defend myself, Naruto said, making the master smile at him for not wanting to hurt his newfound guild members. So you don't have a choice, brat. Either you fight and prove to me you're not a weakling, or you let me beat the hell out of you and humiliate you, not that you would even be able to touch me, Laxus said with a cocky grin on his face. Naruto said nothing. Instead, he turned his back and started to walk away from Laxus. This action alone angered Laxus and sent him into a frenzy towards Naruto, who wasn't paying any attention to him. Naruto, look out. The voices of Erza and Mirajane brought Naruto back to life, and on pure instinct from his years of training for his parents, he was able to dodge. Everyone was surprised to see Naruto dodge an attack from Laxus of all people. This action only fueled Laxus's anger, and without a warning fired a lighting spell at Naruto. Raging Bolt. Laxus screamed while firing a bolt of lightning at Naruto, who just stood there with a smile. Naruto, move out of the way, Erza screamed, who was extremely worried for him. Man, he's a goner, Mirajane said with no hint of remorse, which earned her a glare from Erza. But to the surprise of all the ones present, Naruto merely got into a stance that they had seen Natsu do many times. Lightning Dragon Roar. Naruto screamed while shooting out a 10 feet wide and long lightning beam at Laxus. When the attack collided, they were all surprised to see Naruto's beam cut through Laxus' attack like it was nothing and go straight toward him. Everyone thought that Laxus would just simply dodge it, but that wasn't the case. Laxus was too surprised to do anything. The resulting effects were instant. As soon as the smoke cleared to show Laxus, they found him in a 10-foot crater almost 5 feet deep with dirt and rubble covering most of Laxus. The reactions were ones of shock, fear, and respect. Why, well, because he just beat someone. One was just recently made a S-class mage in one strike with the same element type magic, said S-class mage, used it. If that alone doesn't earn him some respect, well, they don't know what will. And Naruto, do you know what you just did? A very surprised Mirajane asked him, a little scared since even she had never been able to land a hit on Laxus. Then this newbie comes out of nowhere and not only survives his fight but beats Laxus in one move. One, for crying out loud. Well, I guess defend myself, Naruto answered her like it was the most obvious thing in the world. No, you just beat Laxus, an S-class mage of Fairy Tail, in one move, Erza said while looking at the crater that Laxus was in and then back at Naruto, and for some reason she felt a little hot under her collar. Yay, that was freaking hot, Naruto. How about we go back to my place and get to know one another better, Mirajane said while whispering the last part in his ear, making Naruto have a small nosebleed at imaging himself and Mirajane doing that. But before Naruto could say anything, Erza came up to Mirajane and punched her in the face, and then both Mirajane and Erza started to fight over him again. Hey master, do you know some place where I can sleep in? I'm beat and I need my rest. Tomorrow I'll for an apartment or something, Naruto asked him, saying the last part under his breath. Before the master could answer, Erza kicked Mirajane away and came up to Naruto and grabbed his hand. Come Naruto, you be staying with me till you can find a place of your own, no excuses, Erza said, making Naruto shut up and just nod while letting her lead the way toward her home. 15 minutes later. It had taken them a little longer than expected to get to her home, only because Erza needed to make a quick stop at a bakery. After buying nearly 2 dozen strawberry cheesecakes, they left only to have Naruto carry all the cakes. Well, we're here, Naruto. Welcome to my home, Erza said while waving around for Naruto to see. All Naruto saw was a normal-looking living room, that is, until he looked down one of her hallways and saw many weapons and armors lining up her walls and anywhere he could lay his eyes on. Wow, nice place you got here, Erza. It's so well you. So where will I be sleeping at? Naruto asked her, making Erza blush for some reason. Well, all my spare rooms are being used to store my armors and weapons, so. I guess why you could sleep with me on my bed, Erza said with a huge blush, and if she would have looked up she would have seen Naruto in the same boat. Hey, are you sure about this, Erza? I mean, I can sleep on your couch for tonight if you would like, Naruto said, trying to not to think about the stuff that could happen in her room. No, it's okay, I swear, so come on, we should get ready for bed. After Erza said this, both went to her room, which to his shock had posters of strawberry cheesecakes and other stuff. She even had a strawberry cheesecake plushie that she got from God knows where. After showering and brushing their teeth, both got into bed with Naruto at the far right and Erza on the left. Good night, Naruto, Erza said. Good night, Erza, Naruto said, smiling at her, which in exchange got her to smile as well. Soon both were fast asleep, and neither noticed that both were moving to the center of the bed, where Erza ended up putting her head of Naruto's chest and putting her arm around his waist, while Naruto put his head on hers and wrapped his arm around her protectively. Tomorrow would be quite the interesting morning for these two. I wonder what their reaction would be to finding themselves in this situation. Well, you'll just have to wait till next time. Next morning. Sunlight, that was the first thing both felt, but both were too comfortable to wake up. But the light was persistent and won out much to the two's annoyance. The first to open their eyes was none other than Naruto, and the first thing that filled his vision was red. For some reason, Naruto found it a beautiful sight to wake up to, and just stared at it for what seemed like forever. That is until he remembered where he was, and who he was sharing a bed with, and slowly looked down at the head the red hair was connected to. There he found the cutest sight he had ever laid eyes on. There on his chest was Erza with her head on his chest, with a bit of drool escaping her lips, and every so often she would hug the strawberry cheesecake plushie toward her with her free hand. Naruto just chuckled at the sight of it, but apparently his chuckling was enough to stir Erza from her slumber, which made Naruto stop and just look at her stretch. Morning, and yawned Naruto. Erza yawned to him, making him smile at her. Morning to you too, Erza. Did you have a great sleep? Naruto asked her while she just rubbed her eyes while still having that little drool on her right side. Yay, I don't know why, but I had the best sleep in a very long time. How about you? Erza asked after fully awakening. Well, my sleep was good too, since I woke up to the cutest sight ever. Erza, I didn't know you were a cuddlier. Naruto teased while pointing at her strawberry cheesecake plushie that she still held close to her chest while she rubbed her eyes. Erza merely looked at him, then at what he was pointing, and found him pointing at her plushie, and blushed while trying to stutter out a response. I'm just messing with you, Erza. After all, you looked absolutely adorable like that. Well, you best shower and change while I make breakfast, okay? Then we can go and take a job together, Naruto said while walking out of the room, leaving a blushing and stuttering mess that is known as Erza Scarlet. 30 minutes later. After they both showered, they sat down and enjoyed simple eggs, toast, bacon, hash browns, and a glass of orange juice that Naruto had made for them. Wow, Naruto, this really is a great breakfast, Erza said while serving herself second, which only made Naruto laugh. Thanks, but this really is nothing. Maybe next time we can enjoy a romantic candle-lit dinner, Erza? Naruto teased, making Erza spit her juice to her right so as not to hit Naruto. Naruto really enjoyed teasing Erza since he found it so easy to be able to make her blush, stutter, smile, and laugh. It felt good to him since he could see that she didn't do those stuff quiet often and was determined to make her happy. Just teasing Erza. Now come on, I wish to go on a job with you, Naruto said, making her nod, not trusting her voice right now. Naruto merely got up and washed their plates while Erza went to get ready. When she came back, Naruto found her pulling a large crate with dozens of suitcases that he presumed were her armors. Let me guess, not everything fits in your equipped space, Naruto asked while rubbing his templates. Erza merely nodded her head yes. Naruto then walked up to her and pulled out a scroll and started to write something that looked like runes magic but way more complexes to Erza. What are you doing, Naruto? Erza questioned him while looking over his shoulder to look. I'm making a storage seal for you to seal your luggage in so as to make you lighter, Naruto answered her, making her look at him in surprise, and just decided to wait for him to finish. It had taken Naruto almost 4 minutes to finish, and when he did, he walked towards the luggage and made a hand seal. Kai, Naruto thought, and soon a plume of smoke appeared, and when it cleared, Erza saw her luggage gone. What happened to my luggage, Naruto? Erza asked him, to which Naruto merely picked the small scroll up and handed it to her. It's in here and it makes it easier to carry, don't you think? Naruto said. Erza just nodded and took the scroll while attaching it to her waist, and then looked at Naruto again. Where did you learn to do something like this, Naruto? Erza asked, to which she saw Naruto get a weird look on his face and instantly knew she had asked the wrong question. From a place that I wish never to remember again, Naruto simply said, making Erza nod, not wanting to make things worse. Come on, Erza, I wish to see what jobs we can find to keep us occupied, Naruto said, making her smile and run after him. Fairy Tale Guild. It took them about 5 minutes to get there since Erza lived really close by so as to make it easier on her. When they entered, they saw the guild going about their regular business, which involved fighting each other. They made their way to the request board, and Erza chose a job with a big reward. They then ran towards the master, who was sitting once again on the bar. "Master, we would like to take this job together if you wouldn't mind." Erza asked him while handing him the request flyer so he could inspect it. "Very well, you two, but please be careful out there," Makarov said while stamping the job flyer and writing down their name in a book so he knew you took the job. "Okay, master, don't worry, we'll be back in no time flat," Naruto said while grabbing Erza's hand, making her blush, but before anyone could say anything, he picked her up bridal style again and disappeared in a stream of yellow lighting. "Naruto Ragnar, something tells me you might be ready for the S-class trail even if you're young. After all, age has nothing to do with the amount of power one possesses. You will go far, kid. So please be careful out there, because I think that if you keep on going in this direction, Fairy Tail may have a new master in the making." Makarov thought while looking over his guild and at all his children, and couldn't help but smile. Things will only get interesting from now on. Makarov finished his thought while taking a big swing of his beer. 6 months later. Life couldn't be better for Naruto. He had joined the Fairy Tail Guild, and not even a full year later, he was asked to participate in the S-class promotional trails. There Naruto had to fight Gildart's Clive, the ace of Fairy Tail, and man, was that one intense fight. But in the end, Naruto lost, not from being overwhelmed by Gildart's magic power when he decided to unleash his full strength. Oh no, Naruto lost from exhaustion, pure and simply. Gildarts and Naruto had fought for over one full day, which surprised everyone since they never thought Naruto would last a second against Gildarts. Gildarts had even said that at the rate Naruto was growing, he would surpass him in exactly 3 to 5 years. This fight alone earned him the S-class position, along with a very heated kiss from Erza, which surprised everyone. Mirajane, not wanting to be outdone by her rival, stormed up to them, pulled Naruto away from her, and kissed him with as much passion as when Erza did it. This went on for about 5 minutes, with every man in the room cursing Naruto for landing 2 S-class future beauties. That's not all. Apparently, the council got wind of his exploits and invited him to Erza, where they told him that they had something very important to tell him. Flashback era 4 months ago. Naruto was standing in front of the council with another boy about his age. The other boy had blue hair and a weird tattoo over his right eye. He looked strange to Naruto, as if he was being possessed by something, but before he could think about it more, the council called for his attention. "Naruto Ragnar, son of Ragnarok the scaleless dragon and Lily the primordial goddess, we the magical council have called you and young Seagrain here to this meeting," one of the council members said, making both stand a little straighter. "We wish to bestow upon you two the title of one of the 10 wizard saints. But unfortunately, there is only one position available right now," a female member said, "so we have come up with a way to choose who gets the position of wizard saint. Please, Seagrain, step forward," another member said. Seagrain did as told and awaited the next step that the council would ask of him. "Please unleash your full magical power and we will decide who gets to join the wizard saints," the first council member told him. Seagrain then unleashed his full power, making the whole room start to tremble a little, making the council member to tense just a little. "Thank you, Seagrain, that'll be enough. Now then, Naruto, please step forward and do the same," the same member said. Naruto then closed his eyes and took a big breath and tried to calm down. After a second, he snapped his eyes open and unleashed his magic. Unlike Seagrain's, his magical power cracked the wall and shattered the windows. It even made some of the council members grab onto the table so as to not suffocate under his power. Seagrain merely looked on in fear at the sheer power he displayed, and when they all looked at him, all they saw was a huge white scaleless dragon roaring at them. "Enough, Naruto WWEMMADOURCH choice," the chairman yelled out. Naruto then stopped his magical power and looked at them, and after about 10 minutes of them getting their breath back, they spoke. "And Naruto Ragnar, we hereby make you a wizard saint, and you will hold the 7th sit. We would also grant you a sit here on the council, should you please," the chairman said, and no one noticed the rage-filled expression on Seagrain's face. "No thank you, honorable council. I am perfectly fine just being a wizard saint for now, but I know for certain Seagrain could make a fine addition to your council," Naruto said while suspiciously looking at Seagrain to see his reaction. "Very well then, you two are dismissed. Seagrain, stay, you might as well start learning the ways of the council now," the chairman said while tossing a wizard saint amulet to Naruto, who merely caught in his left hand and decided to wear it like a necklace. Flashback ends. When Naruto got back and showed everyone his wizard saint necklace, Makarov threw a huge party to which all of Magnolia was invited, since now their town had 2 wizard saint. After that, Naruto decided to up his training so as to try to catch up with Makarov, who revealed that he was the current 5th Sit in the Wizard Saints. To the surprise of Makarov, Naruto was able to rise to the 6th Sit, beating Jose Porla, the current ex-6th Sit and master of Phantom Lord Guild. Now though we find Naruto along with all of Fairy Tail doing nothing but sitting around and drinking, since all the good jobs wouldn't arrive till that afternoon. "Hey big brother Naruto, can you take me on a S-class job with you again?" asked an innocent voice, which made him look down to find none other than an 11-year-old Lysana Strauss, the youngest Strauss. "Really Lysana, I took Natsu Gray and you on one last week," Naruto said to her, which made her pout. "But you're the only one who takes us on S-class jobs with you," Lysana said while giving him the teary eyes technique. "Well, to be honest, he is a wizard saint, so there's little to no danger when you go with him on any jobs." The voice of Erza rang throughout the guild hall. She had just gotten back from a job that she and Myra of all people took together. They mostly did it so as to get to know one another better and to try to find a way to share Naruto. "Yay, that's true, so why don't you take her on a job, Naruto?" Myra said after going to the master to inform him of their return. "Sigh, fine, I'll try to find a good enough job, okay? So Myra, Erza, do you wish to come along?" Naruto asked them, making them think for a while, and just when they were about to answer, a light appeared in the center of the guild. The light was so bright everyone covered their eyes so protect themselves from the sheer intensity of it. Soon the light faded, and in its place was a beautiful white-haired woman in the most amazing black dress any man has ever seen. Right next to her was a small ball of golden light just hovering about the height of the woman's shoulder. "Mom, Dad," the guild heard Naruto say, making everyone look back at him and the woman in light. "Hello, honey, how have you been?" The woman asked him, making Naruto smile and walk forward. When he was in front of her, he hugged her and nodded toward the ball of light since he could hug a ball of light. "I've been great, Mom. I've gone on many jobs, had many adventures, made many friends. It's been amazing," Naruto said, making the woman smile. Naruto, what's going on?" The voice of Makarov rang throughout the guild. Naruto merely smiled and started to introduce everyone to his parents. "Well, master, say hello to my parents. The ball of light is my father Ragnarok, the scaleless dragon, and this woman is my mother Lily, the primordial goddess. Mom, Dad, this is the third master of Fairy Tail, Makarov Dreyer," Naruto said, making everyone go wide eyes at having a goddess in their presence. Natsu, on the other hand, ran towards the ball of light, and when he got up and close to it, he looked up and said, "Hey, you're a dragon, right? So that mean you know where Ignil is, right? Tell please, where's Ignil?" Natsu yelled at the ball of light. "You haven't told him, son?" The ball of light asked Naruto, making Natsu look at him. "It wasn't my place to say anything, and you know it, Dad. I was either going to be his own dad when he found him, or he would find out on his own," Naruto said, making everyone nod their heads at his reason. "Fine, whatever, I'll tell him. Kid, your father and all the other dragon that trained you dragon had to leave to attend something called the Dragon King Festival, which only occurs every 400 years. Ragnarok said, making everyone look at him and start to think, why would the dragons leave to attend something like this? But why didn't he say anything then if it was something like that? Natsu said. Because he didn't have a choice, it is mandatory. All dragons are forced to leave their charges no matter how attached they may be. Ragnarok said, making Natsu look at the floor. But that's not what we're here for, Naruto, it's time to go back. Ragnarok said, making everyone look at Naruto, and saw his face go emotionless, which scared everyone, including the master, Erza, and Myra, to get shocked faces. "What, where are you going, Naruto?" Erza said to him. "Allow me to tell them, Naruto," Lily said, making Naruto nod. "Well, first I have to start from the beginning for you all to understand," and so Lily began the story of Naruto's past life and of his mistreatment. After the tale was done, every single member of Fairy Tail was pissed at the treatment of Naruto over something as stupid as that. And that is why Naruto will go back to the village hidden in the leaf for the Chunin exam and show them all that he never needed their help to get strong. Lily finished, making a lot of the kids look at Naruto, and some got determined looks in their eyes. "Naruto, I will allow you to go on one condition," Makarov said, making Naruto look at him. "What might that be, master?" Naruto asked, surprised at the fact that the master would allow him to go and humiliate his old home. "That you go and show them what a fairy tale wizard can do. And also, since you need a team of 3 to join the exams, I appoint Myra and Erza to join you, and Gildarts will be your team sensei for the duration of this exam," Makarov said, making the 3 smile and for Gildarts to look up and chuckle. "Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kick some ass," Myra said, but before they could move they heard Naruto's voice. "If you go with me, then you must be willing to kill other. In the ninja world, it's a kill or be killed world. So I'll ask now, are you willing to take a life should you have to?" Naruto asked, making Myra, Erza, and Gildarts freeze and look at him. Myra and Gildarts merely nodded their heads since they had nothing against killing since they had done it a few times. Erza, on the other hand, froze and started to remember the Tower of Heaven and what happened to her grandfather figure. But then she started to remember all that she and Naruto had done together, and the fun and how he always tried his best to make her laugh and smile. Yes, as long as you need our help we will kill should we need to Naruto. Erza said with fire burning in her eyes, making everyone look at her in surprise and at her pure determination at wanting to help Naruto. Oh look Ragnarok, Naruto little girlfriend is so cute, she will definitely give me some very cute grandchildren. Lily said, making Erza burn up. Mom, please stop that, Naruto said while trying to hide his huge blush. Lily, enough, we are wasting time here. Naruto, Erza, Myra, and Gildarts, go and get ready, we leave in exactly 15 minutes. The voice of Ragnarok said, making the four nod and leave to get ready. 10 minutes later. After getting back, the four of them stood by the front door and started to say their goodbyes to everyone. Naruto, show them all what one of the 10 wizard saints can do and show them that you're a proud member of Fairy Tail. Makarov said while ending his little speech by extending his left hand up with his pointer and thumb extended in Fairy Tail's goodbye symbol. Don't worry, Master will show them all the power of Fairy Tail. Naruto said while making his right hand in a fist, and then the next thing anyone saw was a flash of light, and when it finished the four were gone. Leaf front gate. Half a mile away from the leaf, a shining light appeared, and when it finished it showed Naruto, Erza, Myra, and Gildarts standing there with Lily and Ragnarok in ball form. Well, we're here, honey, go and make them all regret their decision of ignoring you and shunning you, show them the power of the true Slayer. Ragnarok said, don't worry, once I'm done they will fear me and respect me and be begging me for forgiveness. Naruto said, and with that the four started walking toward the leaf. Good luck, baby, we'll be watching over you always, Lily said before both Ragnarok and her vanished. Konoha front gate. Two Chunins were sitting down just looking at all the people entering for the Chunin exam. That is until the two of them saw four people coming closer, and what they saw shocked them. The sensei, well, that what he appeared to them, was a huge man about 6 feet 5 inches with rusty orange slicked back hair and a small beard. He wore what seemed like a black tattered cloak, like he had been through many battles. The other three were 13-year-old children who were obviously his students. One was a white-haired girl who wore a long-sleeved, skin-tight black shirt with baggy purple tight pants and black sandals. She wore a vicious smirk which really scared them since she was expelling a purple shroud of chakra. They didn't know what it was since it felt like chakra but slightly different. The other was also a girl, but she had red scarlet hair, and she wore a standard black ANBU armor with a sword strapped to her back. And she was expelling a red shroud of the same kind of energy as the white-haired one. Both the redhead and whitehead seemed to be arguing about something. Though the one who really caught their attention was none other than the only boy in the team. He wore a black skin-tight shirt and black ANBU pants with a white sash around his waist with a long part hanging loosely to his right side. He wore a black pair of boots with white lining around them. Think Goku's boots, but black and white where the orange is. He had a gray coat on like a cape, and around his neck was a strange amulet-like necklace with a strange cross design on it. He had sun-kissed yellow hair which only one other person that they knew of had. He also had ocean blue eyes and 3 whiskers like marks on each cheek, and he seemed to be radiating power if the golden shroud outline was any indication. As the group got closer, the 2 gate guards couldn't help but compare him to their current leader. Soon the group got up to the booth, and the rusty orange-haired man went up to them. Yes, hello, my name is Gildarts Clive, and I would like to enter my 3 student in this year's Chunin exam, Gildarts said while handing them all 4 of their registration papers. Okay, then all we need is your names and the name of your village you will be representing, one of the gate guards said. Very well, then my name is, as I said, Gildarts Clive, and I am the sensei of this team, and we will be representing the village of Fairy Tail, Gildarts said. My name is Mirajane Strauss, and I am the she-devil of Fairy Tail, Myra said while pointing at herself. My name is Erza Scarlet, and I am known as Titania, Queen of the Fairies, Erza said to them, making them look at her weirdly. Finally, the one they wanted to hear looked at them with no emotion and pointed at himself. My name is Naruto Ragnar, and I am known as the true slayer of Fairy Tail, Naruto said, making both guards look at him with wide eyes since that name was very similar. So can we participate in the exams or not? Gildarts asked them, snapping them out of their shock. Oh yes, I'm terribly sorry, but yes, the exams begin tomorrow, so please read this, for it will tell you where to go for tomorrow, the guard said while handing Naruto a booklet for him to read. Thank you. Now if you'll excuse us, we will leave to try and find a place to rest for tomorrow, Gildarts said with a smile, and with that they entered the village and walked for about 10 minutes before they stopped and Gildarts looked at them. Well, I guess you three can go and explore while I go and try to find out anything about the exams. Take care and try not to kill anyone unless they use force. Gildart said, making them nod, and with that he left. Well, I might as well show you around, eh? Naruto said, making them smile, and the three started to walk around the village with Naruto showing them around and telling them about anything they asked him to explain. Though when they were turning a corner, they saw a group of people there, and one boy, at least to them it looked like a boy, was holding onto a child by the scruff of his neck. "Hey brat, why the hell did you bump into me?" the boy said to the scared little kid. "Please let him go, he didn't mean it, it was just an accident." A bubble-gum-haired girl screeched, making Naruto, Erza, and Myra cover their ears at the sound of her voice. "No way, I'm gonna teach this brat to not mess with his superiors," the boy said while cocking his right hand back ready to punch the kid. Just when his fist was gonna connect with the kid's face, the kid turned into shadows and disappeared. Soon after, the other saw a shadow appear behind the makeup-wearing boy. "I really hope that you hitting a little kid was nothing but an act," Naruto said while fully materializing from the shadows. "What if I was what it to you?" the boy asked, a little scared. Naruto merely turned his arm into an iron sword and placed it at the kid's neck, scaring him even further. "Well, because I can't stand idiots like you who think that just because they have power they can do whatever they want," Naruto said while dragging the sword to the boy's manly parts. "Now then, you will turn around and leave, because if I see you face again, I will not hesitate to kill you, understood?" Naruto asked him, making him nod rapidly. "Good, not get out and take your other member that's hiding in the trees with you," Naruto said, making them look at him with surprise and look up at the tree, only to see a red-haired teen, and both paled immediately. "Gaara, how long have you been there?" a very scared, dirty blonde-haired girl asked. "Temari, Kankuro, shut up, you're an embarrassment to the village. What is your name?" the now revealed Gaara said while looking at Naruto. Neither Naruto's group nor Gaara's noticed two new people join the crowd, and Naruto simply crossed his arms while answering his question. "My name is Naruto Ragnar, and what might your name be?" Naruto said, not noticing a girl his age cover her mouth and gasp. "Brother, is that really you?" the girl thought while gaining tears in her eyes. "Naruto, we will meet in the exams and you will prove my existence. Mother wants your blood," Gaara said before sand wrapped around him and the two others and disappeared. Naruto looked at the crowd and saw the pink-haired girl along with a raven-haired boy glaring at him, and when he looked at the last person, his eyes narrowed. Erza, Myra were leaving. Naruto said, quiet, harsh sounding, making both girls merely nod at him. Before the girl could move to talk to him, Naruto disappeared in a stream of lighting, leaving her with her right hand extended. "Naruto, are you okay?" the pink-haired girl questioned. "Sakura, Sasuke, I'll see you two tomorrow in the academy. I need to go talk with my dad," Naruto said while taking off as fast as she could towards the Hokage Tower. "What was that about?" Sakura questioned but never received an answer, so she decided to go home and get ready for the exams. The wheels of fate have turned. Naruto has returned to the Leaf and met his sister after nearly 7 years of being missing. What would the Leaf's reaction be when they see just how truly powerful Naruto really is? Well, you'll just have to stay tuned for the next update to get your answers later, my fellow reader. Naruto's hotel room. After Naruto and the girls had reached the hotel room, Naruto merely sat on the sofa and kept quiet. The girls were nervous and kind of scared at an angry Naruto. I mean, why wouldn't they be? Naruto was a freaking wizard saint for a reason. With the power he possessed, should he be angry enough, he could single-handed take out an entire city. "Naruto, are you okay?" Erza asked him, trying to keep him calm. "Yes, don't worry, Erza, I've calmed down. It's just that seeing her first after nearly 7 years is still taking me some time to not just go up and beat her along with that family to an inch of their lives," Naruto said, making both girls smile at knowing he wasn't angry. "Well, don't worry, Naruto, maybe tomorrow you'll be able to do just that," Myra said, making Erza agree with her. Just when Naruto was about to respond, the front door opened and in walked Gildarts with a bag of groceries, it would appear. Gildarts, what's with all that?" Erza asked him. "You know, I really don't know," Gildarts replied, making all three of them faceplant at his answer. "Then why did you buy it if you don't know?" Naruto yelled out his question, because the vendor was very convincing. Gildart simple said, "Sai, whatever, did you manage to get any useful information about this place that I don't already know?" Naruto asked, making Gildarts nod his head with a serious look upon him. "Yes, apparently someone named Orochimaru is planning an invasion on Konoha during the finals, and he has the Sand Village and his fake Sound Village on standby for the invasion 1 month from now," Gildarts explained while Naruto went over to the balcony and looked over the village. "I see. Well, that is not our fight. We came here to show everyone the power of Fairy Tail, and that's it. Whatever happens, we will not help them. We will defend ourselves should the Sound, Sand, or Leaf Village try to force us into anything," Naruto said, making Gildarts and the girls nod. So what the plan, Naruto? Gildarts questioned while munching on what seemed like a tomato. Nothing, we go to sleep, wake up and participate in the exams as we planned. Naruto said, but then all three saw Naruto look over his shoulders and walk back inside while closing the doors to the balcony. It would seem we have some spies. Naruto said while going to the front door. I'll be back after I take care of this nuisances of ours, don't wait up for me. Naruto said while leaving the room. It seems like the Leaf is about to lose some very promising ninjas. Gildart said while grabbing another tomato. It's their fault for spying on us. The rules clearly say, under no circumstances will anyone spy on visiting teams no matter the cause. Myra said while grabbing the booklets that the gate guards had given them. I hope Naruto come back soon though. Erza said since unbeknownst to anyone she had gotten used to sleeping with Naruto as her pillow and as her source of warmth. With Naruto. Naruto merely walked on aimlessly around the village till he got to a remote area of a training ground and just stood there waiting for the team to make themselves known. Come out you five, I know you're out there, Naruto exclaimed after getting tired of waiting. Soon 5 masked and cloaked figure fell down from the trees and stood in front of him. Naruto-sama, your father wishes. That was as far as he got before a sword mad out of shadows pierced where his brain was. And Naruto-sama, what are you, the second said before being cut in half. Don't ever insinuate that I am that man's son. Naruto yelled out while going for the next one who just had enough time to dodge a fist of flames that would have mad contact with his face. Please Naruto-sama, calm down. Another attempted to talk before being silenced forever. I said don't ever call me that. Naruto screamed before in a fit of rage entering his dragon force. To the shock of the remaining 2, Naruto grew what looked like golden scales on his body and face. Then they were able to see Naruto get in a weird stance where his legs were apart from each other and his arms held out in front of him as if grabbing something. Naruto then proceeded to throw his head back and take a huge intake of air before announcing his attack. Sky Dragon, roar. Naruto yelled out, and the only thing the last 2 saw was the image of a huge scale-less dragon roaring at them. When everything cleared from all the smoke that covered the area, Naruto was able to see the 5 ninja dead and sprawled all over the training field. No matter what, this insects will only see me as that man's son, Naruto said while walking away, though on his way out Naruto stepped on one of the ninja's head like if it was an insect. The resulting effect was the ninja's head popping and staining the ground red with its blood. Well then, it seems I'll have to show him I'm no longer the little brat he ignored and pushed around as a kid, Naruto said while smiling like a madman at the scene he made. Send all the ninja you like, Hokage-sama, I'll just send them all back in body bags, Naruto told the night sky while walking away. Naruto never noticed another masked man coming out of the very trees and looking in his direction. It seems like no matter what Hokage-sama tries, Naruto will just ignore or kill anyone comes his way. The man thought before leaving to inform the Hokage about the incident. Next morning. Naruto and the other woke up the next morning earlier than they were supposed to and ate a light breakfast, but they noticed that Gildarts was gone. Man, I swear if he went out to goof around I'll be so pissed, Naruto said, making the girls giggle at Gildarts' absent-minded nature. Relax, Naruto, Gildarts must have had a good reason for leaving early, Erza said to him, trying to lighten the mood. Yay, whatever, let's just go and get to the academy to start the first part of the exam already, Naruto said while getting up and heading for the door, followed closely by Erza and Myra. It took them about 10 minutes to get there since Naruto already knew where the academy was. As they walked in, they went up the stairs and only stopped when they noticed a big group of kids around a pair of doors with 2 people in the front of it. Please let us in, we want to compete in the exams as well. The voice of a brown-haired girl made itself known. She was currently sporting some bruises and scratches here and there. Believe me kids, this exams aren't for the faint of hearts, we're trying to protect you guys from this, one of the boys said. Just when Myra was about to go forward, Naruto placed his hand on her shoulder and stopped her. This is merely a way to point out the weak Myra, let's leave these idiots to their games, Naruto said, making Myra nod, and they began making their way to the real location. But just before leaving they heard an arrogant voice call out the guard, bluff. Drop the genjutsu, you two, I know this isn't the 3rd floor, nothing fools an Uchiha, especially something as pathetic as that sorry excuse of an illusion. The voice of a raven-haired boy rang throughout the hallway. Idiot, Naruto mumbled out and for some reason decided to stay and watch what happened. To their surprise, a boy wearing a green spandex suit challenged this Sasuke Uchiha to a fight, to which the boy arrogantly accepted. Come Erza, Myra, I wish to see the fool embarrass himself, Naruto told them, making Myra and Erza to smile and follow him. What they saw bored them deeply since they had seen toddlers fight better than this too. Well, that was boring. Myra said while looking on at the scene of an older man wearing the same suit as the kid who they now knew as Rock Lee. That was a one-sided battle indeed. None of them are even close to being in our level yet. Naruto said, and that's when they saw both the man known as Guy and Lee hug and a sunset at the beach illusion appear. Naruto, finding it disturbing, extended his right arm and fired a pinpoint magic shock wave, throwing all the one on the ground level off their feet and onto their asses. The seven looked up to the balcony and saw Naruto leaning on the rails just staring at them with a bored expression. "Kid, did you do this?" Guy asked while standing up. "Yes, your weird illusion was bugging me, so I merely got rid of it," Naruto answered back while yawning. "By the way, this match was boring. You two were so predictable in your attacks. If I were you, I'd hope you guys don't need to fight me since that fight would be so boring," Naruto added, in making both Lee and Sasuke look at him with narrowed eyes. "I'll have you know, kid, that my student here is the best out of his teammates in hand-to-hand combat," Guy said, surprised that someone was able to disrupt his illusion and even insinuate that his student was weak. "Whatever, old man. I'm out. This place reeks of weaklings," Naruto said while walking away. "What's that, you idiot? Scared that I might beat you before the exam?" the voice of Sasuke said. Naruto merely kept walking and only said, "No, but I'd rather put off humiliating you till the finals where everyone in your precious village can see you lose," Naruto said, making Sasuke boil in anger. With that, Naruto and the girls were gone, and they made it towards the third floor where they saw Gildarts standing at the entrance. "There you are, Gildarts. Where were you?" Myra asked him when getting up close to him. "Yay, sorry about you three. It's just that all senseis must be here early to wait for their team to see if all three come or not." "Not my choice," Gildarts explained. "I see then. Well, wish us bad luck since we don't need any more good luck," Naruto said, making Gildarts laugh. "I'm going to skip the first part since I find that boring." "What?" "In front of the forest of death." Naruto and the girls had passed the first part with flying colors and were then sent here to participate in the second part. And that's about all you guys need to know, so please head to your designated gate and await the bell. Oh, and one more thing, try not to die. The crazy lady that Naruto had nicknamed the psycho snake-loving blood-hungry bitch finished her explanation about the second part, and just then a bell rang and the gate opened for them to head in. After about 10 minutes of traveling through the tree, they stopped and looked around. "What now, Naruto?" Myra said while looking at him. "Now you two wait, Myra. I can sense a team about 5 minutes from here, so stay here while I retrieve the Heaven Scroll," Naruto said, making both nod and watched as Naruto left. 5 minutes later. When Naruto saw the team of what he recognized as the village hidden in the clouds, he sat down on a branch and waited to see what they would do. To his eternal boredom, the three merely sat down and ate like if they weren't currently in a death game. Naruto merely got up and extended his arms while yelling, "Lighting dragon, lighting tower." Naruto yelled, and out of nowhere a huge tower of lighting came out of the sky, hitting the team square on, electrocuted them instantly. After the lighting stopped, Naruto jumped down and saw the three burned bodies of the once Cloud Ninja and searched their bodies. It wasn't until he checked the last body that he found what he was looking for. "Thank Kami you guys had the Heaven Scroll," Naruto said while taking it and leaving to go back to Myra and Erza. When he got there, he found them sitting down while munching on some ration bars they had. "So did they have the scroll we needed, Naruto?" Myra asked while eating the last of her ration bar. "Yes, now come on, I for one don't want to sleep in this stupid forest," Naruto said while going at full speed toward the tower, followed closely by the girls. 15 minutes later. They had made it to the tower and spotted a sign telling what to do next. "Seems we open the scrolls here. Well then, no time like the present, eh?" Naruto while opening the scrolls and tossing them on the floor. Soon a cloud of smoke appeared, and once it cleared, it showed none other than Gildarts there. "Yo, how's it going, you three?" Gildarts asked while waving the peace sign at them. "Good, I guess. So what now, Gildarts?" Naruto questioned. "Well, you guys are the first one here, so I suppose you wait and relax till the 5 days are over," Gildarts said, making them sigh in annoyance. "Man, now I wish I hadn't found that scroll so early on," Naruto said, making Gildarts laugh at him. "Well, come on you three, let's go eat something and then you can all go rest till the end of this exam," Gildarts said, making them nod. 5 days later. It had been some very boring 5 days for the three mages indeed. There was absolutely nothing to do for them in the tower except eat, sleep, and train a little. To their surprise, the Sand team made it in almost an hour after them. After that, it was the Leafs teams and other that they didn't bother remembering. Now, though, we find all three standing in front of the Hokage, and boy were Myra and Erza nervous, seeing as Naruto was covered by a dark aura. "Well, now that the entire group of finalists are here, I would like to and thing over to the Hokage so that he may explain some things to you," the psycho bitch said. Naruto decided to tune out what the Hokage said and merely looked at his competition, and boy was he disappointed when he saw no one who looked even remotely challenging. Now then I will choose the first fighter, so please stand by, the protector said. I'll be skipping matches until I get to Naruto's and the girls. Now then the next fighters are, and soon the screen was spinning again and Naruto just watched hoping he got a decent opponent. Naruto Ragnar vs. Rock Lee. When the screen stopped, everyone heard a groan and looked to see Naruto have a disgusted face. Come now Naruto, it might be at least fun to humor them, Gildart said, making Naruto sigh and jump off the balcony. It seems Lee will win this, fate is on his side today. The voice of a white-eyed boy next to a brown-haired panda-looking girl said, Man, what a bummer to be paired up against Lee, who is technically the best taijutsu user of our age. The girl said that when they all heard laugh and when they turned to look they saw Gildarts laughing along with Myra and Erza who were giggling. What might be so funny, Gildarts? A man with silver hair asked. Oh, it's just that it's funny how you guys think Naruto is gonna lose, Gildarts said. What do you mean, is Naruto really strong? A girl with red hair asked, quiet and curious. Of course he'll win, after all Naruto is far stronger than me, Gildart said, making all the kids go wide-eye at the thought of a genin being stronger than a jounin. Really, then what is he doing still being a genin, eh? The arrogant voice of Sasuke said. Oh, that's easy, you see in our village we don't classify our members by genin, chunin, or even jounin. Gildarts lied. Then how do you classify them? A red-eyed woman asked, getting everyone curious, including the Hokage and the woman next to him who were listening in. Well, we classify them by either them being no class or S-class ninja, Gildarts said, making them all look at him weird. That is until Gildarts continued. But there's a class above S-class that only 10 people can achieve at a time, Erza said this time. And what might this 10 people be called, if I may ask? Guy said. They're called the 10 Wizard Saints, with the top 4 being called the gods of Ishkur since they are so powerful they aren't considered human, Myra said, making everyone sweat at the thought of these 4 beings. And you're saying Naruto is one of this 10 Wizard Saints? The pink-haired holler monkey said. Yup, and not only that, but Naruto is the 6th sit, with our village leader being the 5th sit, so that mean after the first 4 Naruto is the 2nd strongest human wizard saint, Erza said, making them all look at Naruto, and all they saw was his bored expression. Then why the hell did you guys let him join this exam? If he really is as powerful as you say, then why? The silver-haired man known as Kakashi asked, a little nervous. Because Naruto wanted to rise in the ninja ranks normally, since he got bored of all the S-class, SS-class, SSS-class, 10-year, and 100-year missions he would normally do, Gildart said. SHH, the match is starting, Erza said, making them all look at the arena. Are both fighters ready to begin? The proctor asked. Yes, Lee said, while Naruto merely nodded his head. All right then, begin, the proctor shouted while leaving the field. Before anything could happen, Guy shouted out to Lee. Lee, remove them, Guy shouted. Are you sure, Guy-sensei? You said to never remove them unless I'm in a dire emergency. Lee asked back. Lee, trust me, you'll need everything you've got to beat Naruto, Guy said, making Lee nod. If you say so, sensei. And with that, Lee jumped up to the statue and removed a pair of weights. Naruto just stood there with an amused smile and waited for Lee patiently. When Lee threw the weights to the floor, they created a huge crater, and Naruto for once whistled at the impressive sight. That moment was the moment Lee ran toward Naruto at full speed, becoming nothing but a streak. Lee's team thought it was over, seeing as Naruto was busy looking at the crater than at Lee. But to the surprise of everyone, when Lee went for a roundhouse kick to the head, Naruto merely tilted his head and the kick missed. What he dodge it, were the screams of Lee's female teammate. Meanwhile, with Naruto, Lee continued trying to hit him by appearing everywhere so as to confuse him. It was to no use. Naruto just continued dodging everything Lee threw at him. Like I said back when you fought Sasuke, Lee, you're too predictable. I see everything you're gonna do that I'm starting to get bored, so please show me how a leaf ninja really fights, or else this match is gonna be fast and brutal, Naruto said while dodging a barrage of fists directed at him. Lee, on the other hand, couldn't believe someone was able to dodge his attacks when he removed his weights. Lee then jumped back and took off to the side of the arena and tried to get behind him. Sigh, man, what a boring fight. I guess I finish it now since I'm completely bored, Naruto said while moving to the right slightly and letting Lee pass him just before grabbing him by the neck of his shirt and pulling him back. The result was Naruto planting his knee directly in Lee's spine, and everyone heard a sickening crunch. The pained screams of Lee was heard all around the balcony. Naruto didn't stop there. Just before hit the ground, Naruto used his right foot to kick him up in the air, where Naruto reappeared on top of him. Naruto then took a deep breath and fired a point-blank breath attack at the defenseless Lee in midair. lighting dragon roar. Naruto screamed out and everyone was able to see a huge lighting tornado coming out of Naruto's mouth and hitting Lee dead on. Ahhhhhh. Lee screamed while being hit at point-blank range. When it was all over, everyone looked to Lee to see him on the ground, burned badly, and his legs seemed to be broken along with his right arm. Though what shocked them the most was that Lee was missing his left arm and his right eye was bleeding profoundly. Seems like you survived that. Well, whatever. Proctor, call the match. I won. Naruto said, and all the Proctor did was nod. The winner is Naruto Ragnar of Fairy Tail. The Proctor announced, and all he got was silence. Lee. Those were the shouts of Lee's team running to see if he was alive. Oh my god, Lee, what did he do to you? Tenten said while covering her mouth. Even Neji was shocked at what Naruto did. This was just a preliminary match. You didn't have to do this to him. Guy screamed at Naruto. Well, you shouldn't send weak children like him to an exam where he could lose his life. As far as I see it, I acted according to the rule of the exam, therefore I could have killed him should I wanted to back then. He just got lucky since I was actually aiming to kill him. Naruto said, making everyone else fear fighting him. Brother, what have you become? The thought of one Naruto asked. Naruto, is that really you? This thought belonged to none other than Minato and Kushina, who watched Naruto with fear at the brutal display he put on. Naruto merely walked back to his team and sat on the ground with his back against the wall. That was so fucking hot, Naruto, Myra said while looking at him with hunger in her eyes. Yes, even though a bit brutal, it was a very great show of strength, Naruto. Erza said while playing with the hem of her shirt since she was feeling hot under her collar again. Yo, Naruto, why didn't you kill him? I saw you there at the end. You porously stopped the attack before it could kill him. My question is why? Gildarts asked. I may hate this place with every fiber of my bone, Gildarts, but I'm no murder. But should any of them try to get revenge, well then now that's a different story. Naruto replied, earing him a nod from Gildarts. All right, everyone, please go back up to the balcony so that we may continue. The Proctor said, making everyone go back up. The next match will be Erza versus Tenten. Will both fighters please come down? Tenten merely got a fire in her eyes and head down immediately. I guess it's my turn, huh? Erza said, but before she could jump down to the arena, Naruto told her something. If you win, Erza, I'll take you out on a date and I'll buy you all the strawberry cheesecake you want. You hear, Erza? Naruto said with a small smile. Erza blushed at the date comment and then got a glint in her eyes when he said he'll buy her as much strawberry cheesecake as she wants. Be prepared to go broke, Naruto, Erza said with a mischievous smile, giving Naruto a shiver. With that, Erza hopped down to the arena and stood in front of Tenten. Are both fighters ready? Tenten said nothing while Erza bobbed her head up and down really fast in excitement. Well then, begin. And with that, Tenten began throwing kunais, shurikens, and all manner of weapons. But they were no use against a girl with a mission. Erza merely re-equipped a pair of sword and ran straight at Tenten while cutting all her weapon. It took her only 10 seconds to get in front of Tenten, and then Erza proceeded to punch her in the face, knocking her out instantly. Why winner Erza Scarlet, the Proctor said while Erza got the biggest smile while chanting something about free cheesecake for life, with Naruto. Naruto and the other merely smile at Erza's quick finish. I guess if you want her to finish something fast, all you have to do is promise to buy her some cheesecake. Gildarts laughed at the fast match. You know you go poor now, right? Myra said while looking at Naruto. But it was worth it, don't you think, Myra? I mean, now you're the only one left that needs to fight. Naruto said, making Myra smile. Yeah, I guess you're right, Myra said while looking at her opponent. Will the final two please make their way down at this time? The Proctor said, making Myra jump down, followed by her opponent. The final match will be between Gaara of the Sand versus Mirajane Strauss. Are you two ready? All he got was a pair of sadistic smiles. Okay then, let the match begin. And with that, Myra rushed forward. Will Myra be able to beat Gaara, or will she lose and most likely lose her life to the deranged boy? You'll have wait till next time, my friends, right now. As Myra rushed forward, intent on finishing it fast, she was able to see a huge amount of sand imprisoning her in a dome of sand. Hey, mother wants your blood, Gaara said while extending his right arm and making a crushing motion. Temari, Kankuro, and the others started to feel sorry for the fairy tale losing a member. Kakashi was about to say how sorry he was for their loss until he saw Gildarts and his students smiling. Aren't you three angry or sad about your friend dying down there? Kakashi asked them. Nope, because this fight is just beginning, Gildarts said, making everyone raise an eyebrow at that. That's when everyone heard a voice come out of the sand coffin and they saw Gaara's eyes widen in shock. Demon takeover, Satan's soul. The voice of Myra rang out and the sand exploded outward, showing a very different person. Everyone was shocked at what they saw, all except for the boys, since some were turned on. Well, that was interesting to say the least. Come on, show me what you can do, or was that it? Myra said while smirking at him. Everyone was shocked to see Myra change and just kept looking at her with wide eyes. Balcony. What the hell just happened? Sakura asked while Ino, Hinata, Naruto, Kin, Tenten, Temari, and Sakura herself were starting to feel self-conscious since they could see Mirajane becoming a very beautiful woman in the near future. Sakura and Ino were more jealous about Myra's figure since they had tried to get that type body for a long time. Sasuke, on the other hand, had gotten interested and was smirking. She would make a great wife and give me some very powerful Uchiha heirs. Sasuke said, making Naruto, Erza, and Gildarts laugh. What's so funny? Sasuke said, making everyone look at the fairy tale team. You think Myra will go out with you? Ha, tough luck, boy. Myra only likes people with power and you don't have that power. Gildart said, making Sasuke glare at him. Everyone was looking at them like they were crazy, that is, until Ino decided to ask, you could possibly be stronger than Sasuke. Really? Well, who could be stronger than Sasuke, huh? Ino asked, getting Erza to look at her eyes. Naruto, of course. Erza said with a smile, making Sasuke shut up when he saw Naruto look at him from the corner of his eyes. Everyone shuddered at Naruto's brutality when he fought against Rock Lee. Arena. Myra merely stood there waiting for Gaara to make a move, and he didn't disappoint. Gaara sent a huge wave of sand at Myra, hoping to crush her, only to fail, since Myra spread a pair of black bat-like wings and flew into the air. HMPH, pathetic. It seems all you can do is control sand. Well, then allow me to show you my technique, Myra said while landing on the arena and putting her hands together, and a black sphere started to materialize in her hands. Up in the balcony. Up in the stands, Erza and Gildart's eyes widened while Naruto merely laid his head on his right hand, which was on the rails. Seems this match is over already, and here I wanted to see Myra crush this guy, Naruto said, making Temari, Kankuro, their sensei and the sound ninja, to look at him. What are you talking about? Your friend hasn't even gotten close to Gaara. Temari asked, not believing that Gaara would lose. Watch and learn then, because Myra's next attack is killer, Gildart said with a smile. Arena. Myra simply stood there making the sphere while smiling at her. Gaara, on the other hand, grew angry. I'll show you power, giant sand burial, Gaara said while summoning a huge tidal wave of sand. Myra simply smiled while adding more power to her attack. Myra waited until the last minute before extending her arms and shouting out her attack. Soul Extion. Myra shouted out while firing her beam at Gaara, which surprisingly ripped through his attack, and it ended up hitting Gaara full force, which caused a huge explosion. Everyone was holding their breath while waiting for the smoke to clear too. When the smoke cleared, everyone saw Myra in the air flying like nothing happened with a huge smirk on her face. In the arena floor, Gaara lay face down with his sand sprawled on the floor and seemed to be unconscious. I was expecting more from this boy, Myra said while land and turning back to normal. The winner of this is Mirajane Strauss from Fairy Tail, the proctor said. Everyone, especially the sand and sound team, were shocked to see Gaara lose. Now will the winners please come down, the proctor announces, making all the winners come down. Now then, you will all draw a ball from this box, and with that we will choose the finals match debut, the proctor said while one by one they came up to get a number. All right then, now that everyone has a number, could you all please redirect your attention to the screen, and you will see the match line up, the proctor said, making everyone look at the screen. Sasuke vs Naruto, first round. Erza vs Temari, second round. Shikamaru vs Myra, third round. Shino vs Kankuro, fourth round. Neji vs Naruto, fifth round. And with that, the preliminary round have come to an end, so now all of you have a full month to train and get stronger for the finals, so you can all leave now to train. See you all in 1 month, the proctor said while everyone started to leave. Naruto, can we talk? The meek voice of one Kushina Namikaze asked behind the four of them, making turn around to look at them. No, I have nothing to say to either you or that man. You gave up that right a long time ago, Naruto said while walking away from them with Erza and Myra on his left and right, flanking him with Gildarts right behind him. Kushina and the rest of the Namikaze family just looked on in sadness as they saw Naruto walk away. What now, Mom, Dad? Naruto questioned while looking down at the floor, trying to keep her tears in. We'll keep trying until he lets us talk to him, Minato said while taking a thinking pose. Honey, why don't you get both Jiraiya and Tsunade to train him? Maybe he'll forgive us if you get 2 of the legendary Sannin to train him, Kushina pleaded him, trying to do anything to get Naruto to forgive her. You know, you might be right, Kushina. I'll get in touch with them immediately, but for now, come Naruto, we need to up your training for the finals, Minato told them, making them nod. Unknown location. In a dark room stood the sand team and the sound team looking at someone in the shadows. It would seem that the sand's ultimate weapon was nothing but a lie, but I am quite surprised at the recent turn of events. What those two did has really caught my attention. A voice said, making the children shiver at the hissing the voice made. I still can't believe that Gaara lost. I mean, he had his ultimate defense up. How could he have lost to that girl? Kinkuro asked no one in particular. Never mind that, I want you to be ready, because when the time comes for the invasion, I want you along with anyone we can spare at the time to bring me Naruto Ragnar. He would make a fine subordinate if I can get him to see things my way. Until then, stay clear of him and train for the finals. The voice said just before it disappeared. Yes, Lord Orochimaru, we will do as you command. Two of the Sand siblings and the only remaining member of the Sound team said. So Kin, may we ask why you were spared by Orochimaru and not the other two? Temari bluntly asked her. And you're okay with that, Kin? Kinkuro asked the girl who the two of them had started to see as more than an ally and thought they were finally starting to make a friend. I have no choice should I succeed, and Lord Orochimaru fail in his effort to gain Naruto's body as his next vessel. Then Lord Orochimaru wants a descendant of Naruto to experiment on to try and reproduce Naruto's power, and even create many more like him to have as his next body. Therefore, he would never have to look for the next candidate. Kin said while looking at the floor sadly at the thought of possibly giving up her first child to the mad man known as Orochimaru for his sickening experiments. Well, you don't have to worry, because should it come to that, we'll give our lives so you can escape and go to this Naruto person. I mean, if even Orochimaru fears him, then maybe he'll be able to protect you from him. And I highly doubt he's the type to abandon his family. I mean, look at him. He may be fucking scary and powerful, but when it came to those two hot girls around him, was always keeping close, as if keeping an eye out for them. Kinkuro said since this was the first time he was able to make a friend. Kinkuro is right, so don't worry if you do succeed in getting pregnant by Naruto. We'll be there to protect you no matter what, Temari said while brandishing her big fan. Thank you, you too. Kin said with a small smile at finally making some new friends beside a certain foul-mouthed girl. No problem, now come on, we have to rest and start our training tomorrow for the finals. And with that, Temari and the other two walked away from the dark room to head back to their hotel room. 4 days later. It had been 4 days since the end of the preliminaries, and Naruto and his team were hard at training in a secluded part of the Leaf away from everyone. They knew they could handle anything, but they wanted to make sure to humiliate their opponent. It didn't help that Naruto was able to fight first against the supposedly Prince of the Leaf, since he was the last Uchiha. Madara, on the other hand, was eager to fight against a genius and see what this Shikamaru Nara was made of. Erza was mad that they would get to fight Leaf Ninja, while she was stuck fighting a wind user who, as she said, wouldn't even last 5 seconds unless she let her. Now here they were, the 5th day of training, and Gildarts and Naruto were watching Erza and Madara duke it out in a spar. Gildarts then, without looking at Naruto, began to speak to him. Naruto, there's exactly 5 people watching us about 500 feet north of here. What should we do? Gildarts asked Naruto, who simply looked in the direction that Gildarts said and answered. Come out, you 5, I know you're there. Naruto exclaimed loudly so the 5 people could hear him. His yell made both Madara and Erza stop and look at him. That's when they noticed Naruto's biological family, along with a man with white hair that reached his waist and a blonde woman that had the biggest pair of tits the two had ever seen. Once the 5 of them were within speaking range, Naruto just stared at them and decided to talk first. What do you people want? Can't you see you're interrupting our training session? Naruto said, making his parents look down sadly while the other two glared at him. Hey brat, show a little respect to your parents. The blonde woman said. I wasn't speaking with you, old hag, Naruto said, making the blonde woman gain a tick mark on her forehead and send bloody murder through her eyes. Whoa there, kid, calm down. That's no way to speak to your new teachers, the white-hair man said with a huge grin. And Naruto, this are Jiraiya the Toad Sage and Tsunade the Slug Summoner and renowned medic Nin, and they are 2 of the legendary Sannin of the Leaf, and we thought that to show you how sorry we were, we asked them to train you for the finals, Minato said sheepishly. HMPH, I have no idea who this 2 old fossils are, and I do not wish to have them train me. They can't teach me anything of use to me anyways, so take them with you, and leave. I'm far stronger than this 2 wannabes anyway, Naruto said, making Jiraiya and Tsunade go shocked and angry at this kid actually saying he was stronger than 2 of the Sannins. Kid, who do you think you are to say something so ridiculous? Tsunade said, but soon got a weird look on her face. Tell you what though, I'll humor you and let you have a match against me. If you win, we'll leave you alone, but if I win, you'll train under us and spend time with your mother and father, Tsunade said, and Naruto merely looked at her and then at his team and sighed. If you wish to be humiliated by me, then fine, I'm ready when you are. Naruto said after his friends moved to the sideline along with Jiraiya and the Namikazes. Well, guess you'll get to spend time with your son after all, Minato, because Tsunade is going to wipe the floor with him. Jiraiya laughed and Minato merely looked on and hoped Jiraiya was right. What followed soon wasn't worth calling a fight since Naruto rushed forward and delivered a devastating blow to Tsunade's chin, and Naruto soon followed through by grabbing her leg and slamming her back to the ground. Tsunade was able to get up and jump back, but Naruto was faster and closed the distance in a second. White Dragon's holy breath. Naruto fired a point-blank, extremely weakened breath attack at her exposed stomach, and followed it up with a lighting attack. Lighting Dragon soaring lighting. Naruto shouted while landing a lighting-covered headbutt. Tsunade couldn't even defend, let alone counter, since Naruto was keeping up his attacks, leaving only a fraction of a second open, which wasn't enough for her. Jiraiya and the Namikazes were shocked to see Tsunade, the supposedly strongest women in the elemental nation, get battered around by their own son like it was nothing. Well, what the hell is going on here? Why is Tsunade losing? She never loses except in gambling. Jiraiya was terrified since he had no memory of Tsunade get beaten up this bad. They then saw Naruto preparing another attack, and from the looks of it, it was gonna be huge. Dragon Slayer Secret ARTS, 100 Lighting Strike Dance. Naruto bellowed, and just when Jiraiya was gonna jump in and stop it, the technique struck home. All they could hear was Tsunade's screams of pain and agony. When it was over, which took a while considering it was called the 100 Strike Dance for a reason. Jiraiya and the others ran toward Tsunade and found her alive but badly injured. "Begone from my sights, all of you, you aren't even worth the workout," Naruto said while walking away with Erza, Myra, and Gildarts not far behind him. "Minato, come, we need to take Tsunade to the hospital fast," Kushina said, gaining a nod from the blonde. "Right, come on, I have a marker there, so everyone hold on." And with that, the five of them disappeared in a yellow flash, with Naruto. "So what now, Naruto?" Gildarts questioned him as they walked back to their hotel rooms. "We keep training, and then on the finals the three of us will show everyone the power of Fairy Tail and show them how more powerful a mage is than a ninja," Naruto said, making them nod. "Well, let's hope that in the day of the finals these ninja give us a good challenge," Myra gleefully announced. "HMPH, I highly doubt any one of them will be much of a problem to us," Erza said, and then she remembered something. "Naruto, you still owe me cheesecake, and you said I could have as much as I want, so come on, we're going shopping," Erza said while grabbing his right hand and running off. "Oh hell no, you're not taking my Naruto from me," Myra shouted while running after them. "Ha ha ha. It's only a matter of time before they get together. I don't know whether to be proud of Naruto or to worship him. His one lucky bastard for managing to snag two future S-class beauties in the making," Gildart said while giggling perversely at the mere thought of what he would do with two girls should he ever get them. Time skip, day of the finals. Naruto, Erza, Myra, and the rest of the finalists stood at the center of the arena waiting for the proctor to arrive and begin the finals. It took nearly 10 minutes for the proctor to arrive, and Naruto grew suspicious when it turned out to be someone new. "Welcome everyone to the CHUNNIN exam finals," the proctor announced, getting the crowd to roar in excitement. Naruto tuned out the rules and everything else and decided to wait for his match to begin. "Will Naruto, Ragnar, and Sasuke Uchiha please stay while everyone else head to the stands?" The proctor announced, though only Naruto was seen, making everyone else wonder where Sasuke was. Stands. Up in the stands, Sakura and the rest of the Rookie 12, along with a highly bandaged Lee, were confused as to why Sasuke hadn't shown up. "Hey, do you guys think Sasuke ran since he has to fight that kid Naruto?" Kiba asked, only to get two glares from Ino and Sakura. "Sasuke would never do that, just you wait, he'll show and beat this nobody," Sakura said, getting everyone to doubt her. "Well, let's hope you're right, Sakura," Ino said while thinking maybe Sasuke should just forfeit the match to avoid ending up like Lee. Back in the arena. It had been about 10 minutes already, and Sasuke had yet to show. Naruto had taken that time to meditate while he waited for his opponent. "It seems Sasuke is a no-show. Sasuke Uchiha is hereby." The proctor couldn't finish his sentence since at that moment a plume of smoke appeared in the center of the arena. After the smoke cleared, standing there was none other than Kakashi Hatake and Sasuke Uchiha back to back. The crowd cheered loudly for their arrival while Kakashi looked at Naruto and saw him merely sitting crossed-legged on the ground with his eyes closed. "Hey loser, get up, it's time for me to teach you who's superior here," Sasuke mocked Naruto, who simply continued meditating. "Sasuke, be careful, this isn't going to be an easy match, so start off strong, you hear," Kakashi whispered to him. "HMPH, whatever, this loser won't last 5 minutes against me," Sasuke boasted. "Overly confident, are we, princess?" Naruto teased back and that comment got Sasuke pissed. Well, now that you're here we can begin. Kakashi, head up to the stand if you will, the proctor announced, and with that Kakashi left to join the other senseis and their students. Are the two of you ready? The proctor asked, gaining Sasuke's heated glare, which he then got in his stance, and Naruto simply got off the floor and put his hands on his waist looking bored. Well then, let this match begin. And with that, the first match of the finals began. Stand. Up in the stand, Ino and Sakura, along with all of Sasuke's fangirls, started to screaming about how Sasuke would beat Naruto in 10-second flat. Just then Kakashi joined them, getting their attention. Ah, Kakashi, how have you been? I hope young Sasuke is ready for this match, Guy said while helping Lee sit up better. Honestly, I don't think any amount of training will make him a match for Naruto, Kakashi said, making everyone there gasp. Kakashi-sensei, how can you say that? I mean, you trained Sasuke one-on-one. There's no way he can lose now, Sakura asked. Yes, I know, but remember that Naruto is part of this 10 Wizard Saints organization. I highly doubt they would have given him that title if Naruto could be beaten by a lowly genin. Kakashi responded, getting the nods from all the senseis. Then what was the point in having him be in the finals if he'll lose? Kiba said. Experience, Kiba. Sasuke needs the experience of fighting someone far superior than him, no matter how brutal it turns out to be, Kakashi said, making the children look down at the arena. Let's hope Naruto finishes this fight faster than ours, or Sasuke might just have to give up being a ninja altogether, Rock Lee said, making everyone flinch. Cage's booth. Up in the Cage's booth, the Hokage, along with the Reikage, Tsuchikage, the new Mizukage, and the Kazekage, were all sitting waiting for the fight to start. The Kazekage was, though, in reality Orochimaru, and he was extremely interested in the fight between his next vessel and Naruto. So that's your long-lost son, eh, Hokage? The Tsuchikage asked with no hint of hate of humor. They may have been enemies during the war, but after all, that's what war is. It didn't mean they really hated each other. It was just the action of few and not of whole. In fact, all the Cages got along quite nicely, not buddies, but not stranger either. Yes, but certain events have drove us apart, and we are currently trying to make amends with him, Minato said, and behind him were Kushina and the third Hokage as acting bodyguard and advisor. Well, I can't say I understand, but I do wish you the best of luck, my rival. The Reikage, said, with a man that looked like him and had a pair of shades stood behind him, along with another dark-skinned man with white hair who seemed to be falling asleep while standing up. Yes, after all, we do have the arranged marriage in the works, don't we, Lord Hokage? The Mizukage said, while a man with an eye patch over his right eye and a shy-looking boy stood behind her. Sigh. Yes, I know, May, but right now I'm more focused on getting my son back than that, Minato said, making May nod in understanding. Well, it seems the match is about to begin, so let's watch what your son can do, Lord Hokage. The Kazekage hissed out. Right, you are Lord Kazekage, Anoki, the Tsuchikage said. Arena. After the proctor announced the beginning of the match, he jumped away to the top of the wall. Naruto and Sasuke merely looked at each other for a while, just waiting to see who would make the first move. Of course, Sasuke, being Sasuke, grew impatient and jumped back while going through hand signs, and when he finished he held his right hand, and in it the sound of chirping bird could be heard. Everyone, including the Cages, were surprised that Sasuke, a mere genin, could pull of a S-class assassination technique. Once Sasuke finished, he rushed forward toward Naruto, intent of killing him for disrespecting his when he finished fighting Lei, and because he knew that if he got rid of Naruto, then Myra and even Erza could become his. Chidori. Sasuke roared while lunging at Naruto when he merely 5 feet away. Then a huge cloud of smoke happened, and everyone had to cover their eyes to shield them from the debris that was flying. Everyone held their breath and waited to see if Sasuke's attack connected or not. It was agonizing for some, but slowly the smoke cleared, and what they saw made many faint and others to cover their mouth. There in the arena floor was Sasuke, face first in the dirt with a 5 feet wide crater, and above him was Naruto with his right hand extended in a fist without a single scratch on him. Everyone waited to see if Sasuke would get up, but when the proctor checked him over, he found out that Sasuke was completely knocked the fuck out. What exactly did you do? The proctor asked Naruto, and since it was so quiet, everyone was able to hear him, and they waited to hear what kind of powerful technique this newcomer used. I simply smack him in the head, Naruto said, making everyone face-plant at his response. A simply smack shouldn't have knocked him out so easily, the proctor argued when he recovered. Sigh, goes to show you how weak he was if he couldn't even handle a little smack upside the head, Naruto said while walking away. Well, the winner of the first round is Naruto Ragnar, the proctors announced, and it took a few minutes before the crowd started to cheer for him. Stands. In the stands, the rookies 12 were stunned to see how easily Naruto defeated Sasuke. That kid is frightening, Asuma said, having dropped his cigarette on the floor. To simply have smacked young Sasuke upside the head and had gotten those results, I can see why he got the title of one of the 10 wizard saints, and to think is merely the 6th sit. I don't even want to know what the 5th sit or the first 4 sits can do if those 4 are called the 4 gods of Ishkur. Kurenai said while trembling at the mere thought of facing someone far stronger than Naruto who was already leagues ahead of her. Yes, very frightening indeed. I can see why even his sensei follows his orders. If he can do this with a simply smack image, what he can do if he goes all out. Guy said, now realizing why Naruto talked down to him and his student back when he first met him. I'll see you guys later, I need to make sure Sasuke is alright, Kakashi told them and disappeared without waiting for a response. I'm scared, Kiba simply said, having peed his pants a little. No one else said anything else since they were too shocked to speak. Cage's booth. Cages just sat there with their mouths opened while looking at the very fast match. What the hell just happened? Did Sasuke really just lose to simply smack upside the head? This Naruto brat is really dangerous at this rate. I'll never be able to take over his body. I need to find a way to get him to come to me, but what seems like I'll need Kin alive after all. Damn, I need to find someone else to take her place during the invasion. Then, Naruto, Ragnar, your body shall be mine. QQ. Orochimaru said while still being disguised as the Kazekage. Wow, what just happened, Lord Hokage? The Mizukage asked while looking at Naruto walk back to the competitors' stands. I'm at a loss for word to Mizukage, Minato said while looking at the crater Naruto made and wondering if he had been holding back when he fought against Tsunade. Your son is very interesting indeed, Lord Hokage. The Kazekage gave his opinion about the whole ordeal. Indeed he is Kazekage Dono, indeed he is. Minato said while regaining his composure with Naruto. As Naruto walked up the stairs, he was able to see Erza coming down with a smile on her face. Great match, Naruto, though I thought you would make it law. Erza couldn't finish her sentence since Naruto had grabbed her by the waist and pulled her towards him and smashed his lips against hers. They kissed for what seemed like forever until Naruto broke it and looked her in the eyes. I know you and Myra have been planning on sharing me, and I must confess that I was playing dumb so as to not hurt either of you. But now I don't have to so win this, and the 3 of us can go home and go out on a real date, okay? Naruto said, making Erza blush and nod. Oh, okay, I'll win, but you better go and tell Myra as well. One last kiss for good luck, Erza said nervously since she's never done something like this. Naruto simply kissed her for a good 15 seconds before letting her go and watched her go to the arena. He noticed that Erza was putting a little more sway in her step and couldn't help but watch her amazing behind as she walked away. When she was out of sight, he ran up the step and saw Myra looking at the arena board. He noticed everyone else also looking at the arena, and so went up to Myra and grabbed her hand before dragging to a dark corner. Myra was confused at Naruto's sudden intrusion, but wasn't able to say anything since, like Erza, he simply pulled her and kissed her. Myra didn't care what his reason was for doing this, so she simply wrapped her arms around his neck and deepened the kiss. When they broke apart, Naruto looked her in the eyes and saw her dazed from the kiss, so he simply chuckled. Wow, what was that for Naruto? Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, I'm just curious is all. Myra asked while licking her lips, trying to taste him on her lips. Like I told Erza a few minutes ago, I know about your attempted of sharing me, and well, this is my way of saying I'm okay with it. Naruto answered her before kissing her again, making her blush a little, but otherwise accept the kiss. Now come, once we finish up here, we'll go home, and the 3 of us can go on a real date, okay? Naruto told her after breaking apart. All he got was a nod and a dreamy-faced Myra. Come Myra, let's cheer Erza so she can finish up faster so we can go home. Naruto said, making Myra snap out of her trance and nod. Now arena. Erza ran toward Temari, intent on finishing it like she did with the panda-haired girl. Just when she was within striking distance, Temari sent a blast of wind at her, sending her flying back. Erza was surprised at this and looked up and saw Temari with a huge fan out and smirking at her. What's the matter, Red? Can't get me. I'm not like the weakling leaf girl with the panda ears who you can just punch and be done with it, Temari said, unknowingly causing Tenten to glare at her. Erza looked at the fan and saw that this girl was a wind user, so Erza merely smiled and re-equipped into her Heaven's Wheel armor. When Erza finished, every single man and boy blew back because of a massive nosebleed, since Erza's choice of armor was very revealing. Huh, what's that armor gonna do, huh? As long as I stay away from you, that armor is pointless, Temari said while jumping back and firing a blast of wind. Erza just stood there, and when the wind was within 5 feet of her, everyone saw Erza smile. Temari was surprised that Erza was smiling despite the situation she was in, but she soon found out why Erza was smiling. When the wind was directly in front of her, Erza sliced the wind in half, making everyone's jaw hit the floor. Stands. Up in the stand, the rookies and their senseis were looking on at the battle with excitement, but that soon changed to shock at seeing Erza slice the wind in half. She cut the wind in half, Sakura screeched, making a lot of people cover their ears from the sheer loudness. No way, how's that even possible? Tenten asked while looking at the two fighters in the arena. That is mighty impressive if I do say so myself, Asuma said while lighting up another cigarette. Yes, but I can tell that she doesn't possess the same kind of power as Naruto, Kurenai said, making the entire genin look at her. What do you mean, Kurenai-sensei? Kiba asked her while looking at her along with all the other genin. Well, when I see Naruto, I instantly start to tremble at the power that rolls of him, along with Gildarts, but when I look at Erza and Mirajane I feel nothing, which tells me that this two are nowhere near the same level as Naruto and their sensei. Kurenai said, making everyone look surprised at that. Then what are they doing in the same team as Naruto and their sensei? Ino asked while looking at the two girls. My guess is that this two are the current strongest females in their village, but Gildarts and Naruto are the strongest in the boys and men ranks, not counting the other 9 wizard saints. Guy said, for once acting smart. I see, was the only response he got from the people around him. Arena. Back in the arena, Temari was starting to have a hard time considering that Erza merely sliced up any wind-based attack she sent her way. You're good, I'll give you that, but that doesn't mean you'll win, Temari said while jumping back and sending yet another blast of wind at Erza. We'll see about that, re-equip flight armor, Erza yelled out while jumping back. Everyone expected another revealing armor, but instead they got her wearing a cheetah armor with a set of ears on her head. Competitor stand. Up in the stand were all the fighter, where you could see both Myra and Naruto holding hands while they watched the fight. Sigh, this match is over. Now that Erza knows her opponent's abilities, she won't hesitate anymore to finish it, Naruto said out loud, making all the fighters look at him. It seems she's actually good for something after all, Myra said while snuggling closer to Naruto, much to the other fighters' peeve since Naruto was able to snag a hot piece of ass like Myra. Naruto didn't respond since he was fixated on the outcome of the match that was about to end. He knew that the invasion would begin depending on the outcome of this match. Get ready, Myra, if Erza wins here the invasion will begin, Naruto whispered to her, making her nod without changing her expression. Arena. Temari got ready for anything since she knew that no matter what the invasion would begin after this match. I'm truly sorry for this, Erza said, making Temari lose focus for only a second before her vision was filled with a fist. Everyone was shocked at the speed that Erza revealed, because 1 second she was on the other end of the arena, and the next she was right in front of Temari. Everyone was witness to Temari flying back from the force of the punch, and just when she was gonna hit the floor, Erza appeared and kicked her up into the air. Erza followed up with a massive choke slam from 5 feet in the air directly into the ground. The mere force of it allowed Erza to make a crater, but Temari refused to lose and jumped back, trying to gain space. Her attempts were for naught because Erza appeared right behind her and with a pair of swords slashed her in the back in an X fashion. Though luckily her fan was there to protect her, the unlucky part was that her fan was destroyed in the process. Temari knew that without her fan she was weaker since she had trained mostly with her fan, not believing she would ever be without it. But now fate had shown her how wrong she was for ignoring her sensei's words about practicing without it. Now then, without your fan you don't present much of a threat, so what will you do now, eh? Erza asked while putting her sword in a cross position ready to deliver the finishing blow. I surrender, Temari said with her head down in shame since she hated to admit defeat to anyone. Just when the proctor was about to say who the winner was, an explosion happened in the cage booth, and in the audience feathers started to rain, making everyone but the most experienced ninja fall asleep. With Naruto. As Naruto saw what was going on behind him, a group of 10 sand jounin appeared and lounged at him in an attempt to grab him. What happened next no one was clear since they never saw Naruto move, but yet all the sand ninja dropped dead. Myra, let's go, I wish to play with Orochimaru a bit, Naruto said, making Myra nod before jumping down to Erza. Erza was currently surrounded by no less than 20 sound ninja. As she looked around, she saw one of them hand Temari a new fan, Holy Ray. The voice of Naruto was heard from above, making Temari pale at the thought of fighting him. Wrong, you are my desert torn, though I'm not gonna hurt you since I have a bigger fish to fry than you, so we'll be taking our leave now. With that, Naruto grabbed onto both Myra and Erza and left in a stream of lighting, with the cages. The cages were presented with a dilemma right now, for right in front of them was none other than Orochimaru of the Sannin. Orochimaru, what's the meaning of this? Sarutobi stupidly asked. Nothing much, I just wish to finally kill you, sensei, and that brat Minato too, but right now I don't feel like wasting my time, so I'll leave you 6 with a present, Orochimaru said, making the 4 cages tense along with the ex-Hokage and Jiraiya. Impure World Resurrection. When the 6 of them heard that, they grew surprised that Orochimaru had perfected that technique. Quick, stop them from opening. Sarutobi yelled, making them all start firing justices at the 10 rising coffins. They were able to get 8 of them, but they missed 2, making them tense at who could possibly be behind those coffins. The coffins opened up to reveal the first and second Hokage of the village hidden in the leaf. Hashirama and Tabarama, Senju the Senju brother, and 2 of the founding members of the Leaf Village. Hashirama-sensei, Tabarama-sensei, I have failed you. Sarutobi said sadly at the thought that his own prized student did this. Before Orochimaru could start gloating, everyone heard a voice ring out through the enclosed barrier. So that's the great and powerful Orochimaru of the Sannin, or better, known as the genius of the legendary 3. The voice of Naruto rang out through the outside, making them all look to see him along with Gildarts and his girls behind him. Gildarts, as you please make an opening for me. Erza, Myra, I want you to find a way to break one of those 4 holding the barrier up out of their muse and take them prisoner. I want a few answers after this. Naruto said, making the 2 salute him and run to the nearest one, who happened to be a redhead like Erza. Orochimaru was about to mock him, saying how his barrier was impenetrable, only to shut up when he saw Gildarts rip open the barrier, allowing both him and Naruto to enter. Gildarts, take care of those 2 fossils. Orochimaru is mine. Naruto said while walking forward to Orochimaru. You got it, kid. After this you owe me a rematch of our last fight. I wish to even the score this time. You got it. Gildarts said, making Naruto smile and nod. Wait, those 2 are some of the most powerful ninja to come out of the leaf. You can't expect to win on your own. Sarutobi yelled, only to get Naruto to look at him. Shut it, old man. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this mess, but you were too much of a soft-hearted old man that you left an insane criminal walk out alive. So spare me your sympathies. Gildarts can take care of them, so shut up and stay out of our way. Naruto said, making Sarutobi flinch at his words. Kid, whether you like it or not, Orochimaru is strong that I would have to resort to using my sage mode, so I'll be lending a hand in this fight. Jiraiya said with 2 toad fused to his shoulders and getting toad like warts and nose. So that's the legendary sage mode, man. If I have to turn into a toad every time I need the added power, I would never bother learning it. Naruto said, making Jiraiya earn a tick mark. Hey, shut it, kid. If I was fighting you in my sage mode instead of Tsunade, I would have 1 hands down. Jiraiya proclaimed. That's right, my boy, for sage mode is the power of nature itself. There's nothing stronger than that. The old male toad said, power of nature, huh? Well, let's see how your nature energy can withstand the power of a dragon. Naruto said, making everyone stop fighting, including Orochimaru, since they all felt the power coming out of Naruto. That's when everyone saw Naruto gain gold-like scales on his face and body. It wasn't until Naruto was covered in a golden fire-like energy that Orochimaru knew he was fucked. What is this power? I have never felt anything like this. It feels 10, no 100 times stronger than Jiraiya's sage mode. Orochimaru, along with everyone else, thought, wow, what is this power? The old-looking toad asked, scared, since when everyone looked at Naruto, all they saw was a huge scale-less dragon roaring at them. This is the ultimate technique of a dragon slayer. This is dragon force, Naruto said while running toward Orochimaru at blinding speed. Orochimaru didn't even have time to dodge, and because of that, Naruto landed a fire-covered fist in his stomach, making Orochimaru, for the first time in a long time, spite out blood. Fire Dragon Iron Fist. Naruto followed it up by landed in front of him and firing a point-blank roar. Holy White Dragon Roar. The roar pierced Orochimaru's stomach and chest, making him spite out a huge amount of blood. Everyone was so shocked to see a 13-year-old beat an experienced ninja who fought in a war and came out alive. Wow, seems like Naruto isn't pulling any punches, the voice of Gildarts said behind them, making them turn to him. You beat the first and second already. Jiraiya all but screamed. Yay, all I really had to do was destroy 2 kunais that were embedded behind their skulls. Not a really hard job. Even Naruto would have finished faster than me. Gildarts said, making the cages along with Jiraiya and Sarutobi nod dumbly. Why is Naruto covered in gold scales? Gildarts, Minato asked, wanting to know what exactly happened to his son. Oh, you see, your son is what we call a dragon slayer, and currently he is in what they call the dragon force, or the ultimate dragon slayer technique, since in this form they wield the actually power of a dragon. Gildarts said, and before they could speak, Gildarts went over to the place Erza and Myra were at, trying to get a hold of the red head. Gildarts put his hand over the place where the red head was, making her pale and sweat. Before their eyes, the place where his hand was completely disassembled into little pieces before the whole barrier disappeared. Gildarts grabbed the girl and threw her towards Myra and Erza and walked back to the others. There, now your men can take those other 3 into custody, Gildarts told Minato before turning back to the one-sided fight of Naruto and Orochimaru. Gildarts, where did Naruto learn this dragon slayer techniques from, if I may ask? Minato asked just in time too, since Kushina and Naruto landed next to him and were able to hear his question. Yea, where did brother learn all this stuff from? Naruto asked, trying to know a little more about her estranged brother. Probably from a dragon, like every other dragon slayer did. Gildarts answered, making everyone raise an eyebrow. Why would a dragon teach someone an art that could kill them? The Raikage asked him. Because long ago there was a dragon civil war in which the dragons fought each other over the fate of humans. You see, one side wanted us as nothing more than food, while the other side thought we could be friends, and so they waged war against one another. Now the pro-human side was losing, so in an effort to win, the dragons took on 7 humans and thought them they art, and had them enter the war. This 7 would soon come to be known as the Dragon Slayers. Gildarts explained, making everyone look surprised. And you're saying my son was taken in by a dragon, and taught this Dragon Slayer arts himself? Kushina asked, slightly concerned that her son was in the presence of a dragon. Yes, but according to Naruto, this dragon is his father, giving the fact this dragon actually took the time to teach him. Actually, Naruto knows another Slayer art, but I can't tell you since that one is up to him to reveal, not me. Gildarts said, making both Minato and Kushina look sad at the thought that Naruto thought of a dragon as more of a father than them. How many of this dragon are left, if we may ask? The Mizukage asked, trying to see if she could get a few of her ninja to become this dragon slayers. None, since Naruto there killed them all about 6 months ago. Gildarts said, making everyone nearly faint at that. Brother killed the remaining dragons. Haruko stuttered out, to which Gildarts merely nodded. Before any more question could be asked, they heard an explosion and looked to see Orochimaru spitting out another him, but this one looked weaker and paler, almost like he was dying. To think I would be losing to someone like you, but I must say I will enjoy using your body because it's now mine. Orochimaru screamed while shedding his skin, revealing a giant white snake that rushed at Naruto. Gildarts, keep everyone where they are, I'll finish it here. Naruto said, still in his dragon force. Right, don't worry, I got this, Gildarts said while extending his arms, preventing anyone from moving. Orochimaru rushed towards Naruto and saw that Naruto didn't even move, but thought nothing of it since he would soon have the only body he'll ever need. To the shock of everyone, Orochimaru succeeded in entering Naruto's body, which soon turned pale and his eyes turned snake-like. Yes, I did this body, this power, it's all mine, ha ha ha. Orochimaru laughed in the body of Naruto. Everyone was ready to jump to him, but Gildarts stopped them. Just wait, Naruto has a plan, just wait, he wants to make sure Orochimaru can never return. Gildarts told them, making them hesitant for a moment before nodding, that when they saw Naruto / Orochimaru do some hand signs that no one recognized. I don't need anyone anymore. With this body, I can really achieve immortality. Curse mark REMOVEL. That when everyone understood what Naruto was doing, he was waiting for Orochimaru to remove the curse mark from everyone else. That when they saw him laugh even harder until they saw him stop and grab his head, everyone saw one of his eyes turn back to sky blue. What's going on? I in control of this body, Orochimaru said while grabbing his head in pain. Everyone saw him fall to his knees, and that's when everyone rushed toward him to see if he was okay. Erza and Mirajane jumped in front of Naruto, preventing them from coming any closer to him. What are you doing? Get out of the way, my son needs me, Kushina said before she saw both girls glare at her. Then where were you when he needed you the most, eh? Mirajane said, making Kushina flinch. Enough, no one is to touch Naruto right now, for there is the possibility that Orochimaru can escape via that method, Gildarts said, making everyone nod if forced. Inside Naruto's head, the tables had turned rather fast for Orochimaru, since now he was the one being sucked in by his own technique. Naruto merely looked on with a bored expression, looking at Orochimaru as he sank lower in his own technique. And this was easier than I thought it would be, letting you take over and you destroying those blasted curse marks, man. That was too easy. Thanks to you. You yourself will never be able to come back, no matter how much anyone tries, since you will soon be a part of me. And thanks to my Dragon Slayer art, you can't affect me ever, Naruto said while Orochimaru couldn't say anything. Just when he was second from dying for good, he heard Naruto say something. Bye, Orochimaru, your tale ends here. Too bad I was your opponent. With that, Orochimaru of the Sannin was no more. Real world. Back in the outside world, everyone saw Naruto stand up and dust himself off with his hair shadowing his eyes. Naruto, is that you? Mirajane questioned. Yawn, yay, it's me, don't worry, Orochimaru is gone for good now, Naruto said, making both Erza and Mirajane hug him tightly. With that, the invasion ended when the word that Orochimaru had finally died went around. Everyone single sound ninja ran away, not wanting to be here anymore, since without Orochimaru they knew they would lose. The sand surrendered and turned themselves in, deciding in ending it quick instead of losing more men and women in the process. 2 weeks later. Time flew and the sand was forgiven since they didn't know that their Kazekage was dead and that they were following the orders of Orochimaru instead. Naruto and his group were constantly asked to come to the council, but they ignored it every time, not wanting to deal with those old farts, as Naruto once said. Now though, we find Naruto and his group leaving the leaf and headed to a hillside to teleport back to Fior and back to their home. Just when they had stepped out of the village, they all heard footsteps and turned around and saw Naruto and her parents running up to catch them. "Wait, please stay, we were really sorry, so please stay here and allow us to make it up to you, please," Naruto said while bowing her head to her brother of all people. "No, I already told you I only came here to become a chunin, and that's it. From now on our paths will never cross, so I will never see either of you again. So this is the final time we'll ever see each other again. Goodbye, Naruto." With that, Naruto left with his group, leaving behind the crying mess of the Namikaze family. Hillside. The group of 4 made it to the hillside, where they found Naruto's adopted parents there, along with 2 girls who were glaring bloody murder at Naruto. Now you two don't make those faces or your face will stick that way," Lily said, making the 2 look down and mutter, "Sorry." "Great, now then come Myra, Erza, Gildarts, and of course Teuya and Kin. Let's head back to Magnolia," Naruto said, making them nod. "You better not have lied about this place taking us in," Teuya said, trying really hard to leave behind this life and to try and forget ever working for a man like Orochimaru. "Don't worry, you two, Master Makarov is very accepting in who he lets into the guild," Naruto said, making the girls nod. "Well, fine then, let's get on with it. I don't have all fucking day," Teuya said with a small shiver of hope. "Mom, if you please send us back to Magnolia," Naruto said, making Lily smile and nod. "Next stop, Magnolia Town," Lily said. With that, the 8 of them disappeared in a flash of light. Fairy Tail Guild Hall. Back in Fairy Tail, everyone was doing their usual routine of drinking, fighting, and taking on job requests. That is until a light blinded them and made them get into a fighting stance. When the light died down, there in front of everyone was none other than Naruto, Erza, Myra, Gildarts, Lily, and the ball of light Ragnarok, along with 2 others. "Hey guys, guess who's back?" Naruto waved with his trademark foxy grin, making the entire guild roar in happiness at their arrival. Naruto. "My boy, welcome back," Makarov yelled out while coming up to him and giving him a grandfatherly smile. "I hope everything was put in order," Makarov asked, gaining a nod. "Great, well, just one more thing, my boy. Who might those 2 young girls be?" Makarov asked, getting the 2 girls to walk forward and present themselves. "Name's Teuya, don't forget it, old man," Teuya said with a smirk. "My name is Kintsuchi, Master Makarov," Kin said with a small bow. The girls in return got a hearty laugh from Makarov, and he waved them off. "No need for formalities, my young ones, but allow me to introduce myself. My name is Makarov Dreyer, and I am the current 3rd Master of Fairy Tail," Makarov said while smiling at them. "That's all for now. If you enjoy, then please like, share, and do comments.